Chapter 280. A voice boomed in the sky. Everyone looked up at the sky. It was a black shadow that was descending. Boom. What a big black rat! Within Shanghai City, everyone raised their heads and exclaimed. That black shadow had already landed heavily on the ground. The black shadow's palm landed heavily on Senior Brother Lin's head. Boom. With a bang, Senior Brother Lin's head exploded like a watermelon. Seeing this, the disciples of the Imperial Beast sect were shocked. Senior Brother Lin. F***CK. Senior Brother Lin's head exploded. All of them exclaimed, panic flashing in their eyes. Senior Brother Lin, a Saint Emperor, had actually been crushed to death by a huge black rat that had fallen from the sky? Kid, who are you? At this moment, everyone looked at the black shadow and saw an extremely ugly face. Me? Ning Tian smiled and said calmly, my name is Ning Shuai, an inner disciple of the Tianma cult. Tianma cult? Isn't that our cult? Hearing Ning Tian's words, some of the Tianma cult disciples in Shanghai City began to discuss. That's strange, senior sister. Does our Tianma cult have such a powerful disciple? I don't think so. The senior sister was stunned. She had never heard of this before. Moreover, wouldn't this disciple affect the overall attractiveness of the Tianma cult? Senior brother, are you really a disciple of our Tianma cult? A female disciple of the Tianma cult in Shanghai City frowned and asked. Yes. Ning Tian smiled and nodded. I belong to the Tianma horde under the Patriarch. Tianma horde? The female disciple frowned even more. But senior brother, I'm also a disciple of the Tianma horde under the Patriarch, but I've never seen you before. When Ning Tian heard this, he felt a little awkward. I just joined. He could only beat around the bush. Anyway, I'm here to save you. Really? The female disciple narrowed her eyes. Her name was Lan Lengling, and she was a disciple of the Heavenly Devil Horde under the Patriarch. When she heard Ning Shuai's words, she didn't show much gratitude. This was because the ancestral master had said that those who saved you from an unknown background might not be sincere. She could not let down her guard outside. As an outstanding disciple of the Heavenly Devil Horde, she naturally had to keep the ancestral master's words in mind at all times. Brat, I don't care if you're from the Tianma cult or not. You killed Senior Brother Lin, so Elder Yuyao will kill you. The group of beast-controlling sect's disciples glared at Ning Tian with murderous eyes. Elder Yuyao? Ning Tian was slightly taken aback. On the side, Nalan coldly explained, Elder Yuyao is a heavenly venerable elder of the beast-controlling sect. He's said to be the strongest person in the beast-controlling sect besides the beast-controlling sect master. He even mastered the beast-taming battle technique. Oh, beast-taming battle technique? Hearing this, Ning Tian's interest was piqued. Although he was strong in beast-taming, he had yet to master the ability to make monsters fight. So, let's hurry up and leave. Lan Ling's tone was a little anxious. Although this senior brother of an unknown background was very strong, it did not mean that he was strong enough to fight Elder Yuyao. However, this handsome Ning in front of her did not seem to hear her. Instead, he said to the group of beast-controlling sect's disciples, Sure, call that old man out. I'll kill him. At this moment, everyone in Shanghai City was stunned. Was he still going to provoke him at this time? Senior brother, I really wonder if you're a disciple of the Heavenly Devil Horde. On the side, Lan Ling was deeply suspicious. She glanced at Ning Tian. The great laws of survival that our ancestral master taught us clearly states that if you can run, don't fight. If you can kill in a sneak attack, don't fight head-on. The group of Tianma cult disciples behind her also nodded. If you can kill in a sneak attack, don't fight head-on. This point was indeed in line with their ancestral master's style. Cough cough, I'm new here. I haven't learned it yet. Ning Tian coughed dryly. At this moment, the beast-controlling sect's disciples heard that and were instantly enraged. Damn! Kid, just you wait. The The beast-controlling sect's disciples were so angry that their eyes widened. Then, a disciple took out something that looked like a signal and released it into the sky. Whoosh! Spiritual energy shot up into the sky. Soon, a big red danger word appeared in the sky. A cloud-piercing arrow could summon thousands of troops. This is the beast-controlling sect's distress signal. Oh no, let's go. Lan Lung saw through it and her expression changed immediately. The group of Shanghai City cultivators all wanted to slip away. However, at this moment, a cold sneer sounded. Haha. Want to leave? You still have to ask for my permission. In the sky, an oppressive aura appeared, and an old man appeared in front of everyone. He was dressed in luxurious clothes embroidered with various demon beast patterns. This was the 3-star Heavenly Venerable Realm expert, Elder Yuyao. Oh no. We can't leave this time. Seeing this scene, Lan Lung and the rest of the Shanghai City people's expressions changed. Then, do you agree? Just as everyone's expression changed, a lazy voice sounded. Huh. Everyone was stunned. Elder Yuyao was also stunned. He didn't expect that someone would dare to answer this question. He sneered and looked at Ning Tian. Nonsense, how can I let you leave today? Then what are you talking about? You. What a sharp-tongued kid. A cold light flashed in Elder Yuyao's eyes. After saying that, he was about to control the surrounding demon beasts to destroy Shanghai City in one fell swoop. However, the ugly kid in front of him spoke. It's boring to fight and kill. Why don't we compare notes on the Tao of beast taming? Ning Tian looked at Elder Yuyao with a smile. Compare notes on the Tao of beast taming? Elder Yuyao frowned. You also mastered the Tao of beast taming? Of course. Ning Tian nodded slightly. His plan was to steal some beast-taming battle techniques from Elder Yuyao first. It would not be too late to kill him later. Okay. A playful look flashed across Elder Yuyao's eyes. In his eyes, these people were like fish on the chopping board, waiting to be slaughtered. Why not play with them now? However, with your strength, you don't deserve to spar with me. Spar with my last disciple first. Wang Ren, come out. Elder Yuyao's eyes were filled with arrogance as he calmly waved his hand. Following which, a middle-aged man appeared, his face filled with arrogance. Okay. Ning Tian nodded. After killing the young one, he would kill the old one. The two of them summoned their beast. The moment Ning Tian summoned the Sealing Flame Lion King, the shabby lion suddenly rushed over and swallowed Wang Ren, who had yet to summon his demonic beast. Damn! Elder Yuyao's face changed. Seeing his beloved disciple disappear just like that, he scolded. Damn! Young man, you don't have any morals. Chapter 281. Wang Ren didn't even have time to scream. The flame-sealing Lion King swallowed it in a split second. Many of the surrounding people didn't even have time to react. It was supposed to be a battle between beasts. Who would have thought that a shabby lion would appear and swallow his opponent in one bite before his opponent's beast could be summoned? Wang Ren probably died in vain. How shameless! It was supposed to be a battle between beasts, but he ordered his beast to swallow his opponent in one bite. That's awesome! The disciples of the beast trainer sect opened their eyes wide and stared at Ning Tian with righteous indignation when they saw Wang Ren being swallowed in one bite. Isn't this Ning Shuaibi a bit mean? In Shanghai City, the disciples of the Tianma cult looked at each other and stared at Ning Tian in the sky. Senior sister, I suddenly feel that he should be a disciple of the heavenly demon horde under our founder. After all, he has learned a lot from our founder. A disciple frowned and said seriously. This, Lan Lengling was stunned. Her beautiful eyes fell on Ning Shuaibi in the sky, and a trace of doubt flashed across her eyes. This handsome Ning was truly a master of the ancestral master's despicable ways. However, why did the name Ning Shuaibi sound so familiar? As if she had heard it somewhere before. Brat, you don't have any martial virtues. You're so young, but you don't have any martial virtues. At this moment, An angry roar came from the sky. Elder Yuyao finally came to his senses. His old eyes were full of flames of anger. He glared at Ning Tian, wanting nothing more than to skin this person alive. Wang Ren was a disciple that he had nurtured for dozens of years, and he was very fond of him. In the beast-controlling sect, even the young master of the beast-controlling sect, Yi Ling, was no match for Wang Ren in the art of controlling beasts. Wang Ren had never tasted defeat in internal battles. His external battle record was swallowed by a shabby lion before he even made a move. How could he not be angry? Hearing the surrounding people's words, Ning Tian felt very wronged. How was he despicable? The patriarch was a great person. He didn't expect that after summoning the shabby lion, it would swallow the king's blade in one gulp. He couldn't even stop it. Roar, roar, roar. However, the Lion King was very excited and kept roaring at Ning Tian. Ning Tian didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It turned out that the shabby lion wanted to use lightning speed to kill the enemies that were a threat to Ning Tian. Then, he could ask for benefits from him, such as a big meal or a few lionesses. As for why he chose Wang Ren instead of Elder Yuyao, it was completely because it wasn't stupid. After all, it had to pick the soft persimmon to pinch. You can't do this. At this moment, Ning Tian was teaching the Ceiling Flame Lion King a lesson with a serious expression. At this moment, this huge, shabby Lion King was like a child that had done something wrong. It just squatted in the air and accepted Ning Tian's severe criticism. Seeing this, Elder Yuyao snorted coldly as a glint flashed across his eyes. Although this couldn't offset his killing intent, since this kid was so tactful, he would give him a quick death later. However, before Elder Yuyao's expression changed for the better, he heard someone speak. "You shabby Lion King, how could you do this?" That Wang Ren was raised by Elder Yuyao painstakingly. "How could you swallow him without saying a word? This is too much. At least leave some bones for him. If you do this, he won't even have ashes." Ning Tian kept lecturing the Ceiling Flame Lion King with righteous words. At first, his words sounded quite righteous. However, the more he spoke, the more he felt that something was wrong. Roar, roar. Hearing its master's words, the Ceiling Flame Lion King looked aggrieved and roared twice with a bitter face. "Oh, you still have the heart, not bad." After Ning Tian heard this, he nodded his head in satisfaction. Then, he looked at Elder Yuyao and said, "Elder Yuyao, my shabby Lion King said that when he has diarrhea, you can wait for him. Your disciple might be able to poop out a little." Hearing this, the surrounding people were stunned. Diarrhea? Poop out? Pfft! Hearing this, the people in Shanghai City almost couldn't hold back their laughter. Poop out? Senior brother Ning Shui seems to have picked up the ancestor's skill of infuriating people. Is Elder Yuyao going to explode from anger? Lan Lengling smiled when she heard this. Her gaze landed on Ning Tian. Elder Yuyao was stunned for a long time. When he finally reacted, his body was trembling. He gritted his teeth in anger and his eyes were filled with flames. "Kid, are you King kidding me?" He stared at Ning Tian. "I'm going to chop you up and feed you to my beasts. An eye for an eye. Wait, this shabby Lion King has something to say to you." Just as Elder Yuyao's spirit energy surged, and he was about to unleash his ultimate move to kill Ning Tian spoke up again. "What do you want now?" Elder Yuyao said fiercely. "My shabby Lion King has something to say to you. He said that he wants to express his deep apologies." Ning Tian said calmly. At this moment, everyone's gaze, including Elder Yuyao's, fell on the Lion King. Roar! The Lion King had a sincere expression on its face. It slowly raised its lion paw and raised a sharp claw in the middle of its paw. Then, it roared at Elder Yuyao. "What the f***ck? I'm being looked down on by a shabby lion?" Seeing the universal gesture, Elder Yuyao's defense was broken. His eyes were red. He had never been wronged like this in his life. At the side, the Shanghai city people were about to explode from holding back their laughter. Wait, are you sure you don't want to hear what he said? Ning Tian said. What did he say? Elder Yao's eyes were cold as he looked at Ning Tian coldly. He said that he wants to eat a person raw. I'm sorry, a person that tastes like chicken is really not tasty. Ning Tian said seriously. Around them, the wind stopped. It was as if time had stopped. It was silent. After a while, a furious roar reverberated throughout the skies of Shanghai City. Ah! F***ck. What a despicable lion. I'm going to eat you raw and use your penis to make wine. Spiritual chi burst out from Elder Yao's body. His eyes were glowing red as he glared at the Lion King. He gritted his teeth, clearly enraged to the extreme. Chapter 282. Despicable Lion. Die for this old man. Elder Yao's face was ashen as he roared. His heavenly venerate aura enveloped the entire sky. He angrily looked at the ceiling flame Lion King and sent a palm strike towards it with a heavy gust of wind. Roar, roar! The ceiling flame Lion King's face was full of confusion. Feeling the terrifying pressure, it ran away. The lion's head was filled with question marks. That's not right. Master clearly told me that as long as I put up that friendly gesture, I would be able to obtain the other party's forgiveness. But why is this old man still chasing after me? Damn it, I might not be human, but you're a real dog. Soon after, the ceiling flame Lion King howled as it dodged. After dodging a few fatal attacks, it curled up its huge body behind Ning Tian as much as possible. This demonic beast is so fast. Many people in Shanghai City sucked in a breath of cold air when they saw the Lion King dodge the attack of a heavenly venerate expert. Although the ceiling flame Lion King was only a sixth-order monster, its strength was extremely powerful. Although there were many Tianma cult disciples in Shanghai City, they had all been transferred here a long time ago. They didn't know that the despicable lion in front of them was the guardian monster of the Tianma cult. Where do you think you're going? Elder Yao's eyes flashed with a murderous glint. Spiritual energy shot out from his hand. Whoosh! This move of his was aimed at the Lion King's butt. Awa! Meow! The ceiling flame Lion King was so scared that it meowed like a cat. It immediately curled up its body. Humph! Seeing the attack, Ning Tian raised his hand and blocked the spiritual energy in the air. The spiritual energy exploded in the air with a bang, as if it could tear the sky apart. You're also a heavenly venerate? Elder Yao frowned slightly when he saw this. His eyes narrowed slightly as a trace of graveness flashed through them. This somewhat ugly and despicable fellow was actually also an Empyrean. Old man, aren't you going to fight using the way of taming beasts? Ning Tian looked at Elder Yao with a faint smile. At this moment, he still planned to secretly learn a beast-taming battle technique. After all, he couldn't learn this from the Tianma cult. Humph! Good lad, since you insist on seeking death, then don't blame this old man. Elder Yao scoffed coldly as killing intent flashed in his eyes. He took out the imperial beast gourd and a golden light shone from it. A huge object appeared and landed heavily in Shanghai City. Rumble! It was a giant spider with lightning and flames flowing all over its body. A casual movement of its 8 legs could cause a house to collapse. Giant thunder flame spider attack! Exterminate this brat! Following Elder Yao's shout, the giant lightning flame spider's 8 long legs swept out, crushing a large area of the house as it charged towards Ning Tian. Elder Tian, let's retreat first. Seeing this, Lan Lengleng and the other Tianma cult disciples hurriedly led the people of Shanghai City to a safe distance. Senior Sister Lan, can that senior brother be a match for Elder Yao? After retreating to a safe distance, the group of Tianma cult disciples looked at Ning Tian in the sky with worry in their eyes. Although Elder Yao had said that this senior brother was also a heavenly venerate, this was a competition of the way of taming beasts, a move that the other party was very proficient in. I don't know. Lan Lengling shook her head as her beautiful eyes fell on Ning Tian. For some reason, when she looked at him, the panic in her heart slowly dissipated. His back gave her a very safe feeling. We choose to believe in senior brother. Lan Lengling sighed and said. Behind her, the group of disciples nodded. In the sky, Ning Tian couldn't help but smile when he saw the disciples of his heavenly demon horde acting in an orderly manner without the slightest hint of panic. As expected of the disciples he had nurtured. Then, he looked at Elder Yuyao and silently said in his heart, System, use innate skill, dispelling doubts. Using innate skill, dispelling doubts. Use successful. Soon, a golden light flashed in Ning Tian's eyes as his gaze fell on Elder Yuyao. The giant lightning flame spider charged over in the blink of an eye. It was also at this moment that Elder Yuyao roared, Giant lightning flame spider, spider silk explosion. Hiss! A red light flashed in the giant lightning flame spider's sinister and terrifying eyes. Then, it opened its mouth and a sticky liquid condensed in its mouth. Then several white spider silk shot out. Shabi, get out of the way! Seeing this scene, Ning Tian didn't panic and only calmly shouted. The Lion King's huge body leaped and dodged. Although its body was huge, its speed was nothing compared to its size. Boom! Hiss! The spider silk landed on the ground and instantly blasted a 10-meter-wide hole in the ground. Not only that, but there was also extremely corrosive poison in the hole. These were enough to kill a 5th-level monster. Once hit, even the circulation of spiritual energy would become extremely slow. Humph! You're just lucky to escape. This old man doesn't believe that you can escape a few moves. Seeing this, a cold light flashed in Elder Yuyao's eyes. His eyes were filled with killing intent as he coldly sneered at Ning Tian. Then, he ordered the giant lightning flame spider to charge over. When it was close, he used the beast-taming battle technique again. Giant lightning flame spider, blood light spike. Following Elder Yuyao's roar, the giant lightning flame spider's huge body slammed into the ground. Almost at this moment, Ning Tian calmly said to the giant lightning flame Lion King, Giant lightning flame Lion King, move towards the ground. Roar! The giant lightning flame Lion King believed him, and its huge body shot towards the ground. At the same time, the 8 huge legs of the giant lightning flame spider slammed heavily into the ground. Boom! Boom! 8 spikes shot towards the sky from the ground. The target was right above the giant lightning flame Lion King. If it had been flying upwards, it would have been an active collision skill. Seeing this, Elder Yuyao's expression changed slightly. A ferocious light flashed in his eyes. This kid actually predicted his prediction? Just good luck. Elder Yuyao quickly calmed down. Then, he continued to use the beast-taming battle technique to attack the giant lightning flame Lion King. However, no matter how the giant lightning flame spider attacked, Ning Tian ordered the giant lightning flame Lion King to dodge. The most infuriating thing was that it was able to dodge every time. Kid, is this what you meant by learning from each other? You only know how to show off your agility. Seeing this, Elder Yuyao opened his eyes wide and glared at Ning Tian. Is that so? At this moment, the giant lightning flame Lion King stopped. Ning Tian raised his eyes slightly. His eyes were cold and his lips curled into a cold smile. Next, it's time for my counterattack. Chapter 283. Elder Yuyao could not help but be stunned when he heard Ning Tian's indifferent voice. When he recovered, he once again laughed coldly. Trying to deceive this old man by deliberately mystifying things? What a joke. Giant thunder flame spider, use spider silk explosion, he shouted. Then, the white energy in the giant thunder flame spider's mouth gathered again. Hiss! Then, a few white threads rushed out. Seeing this, the corners of Ning Tian's mouth curled up. Shabi go! The moment his voice fell, a ray of golden light rushed towards the Lion King. At this moment, it only felt that there was an additional move in its mind. Then, its mouth was boiling and it roared subconsciously. Roar! The Lion King's aura exploded. A few flames shot out from its mouth and melted the white threads in an instant. It landed on the ground and a few large pits appeared. Roar! Seeing this scene, the Lion King's already huge eyes instantly widened. It had grown up. It could spit fire. Seeing this, Elder Yu Yao could not help but frown. This kid did not know the beast-taming battle technique earlier. How did he know it now? Moreover, why did this move look so familiar? I was just lucky. Elder Yu Yao's eyes flashed coldly. Then, he ordered the giant thunder flame spider to use another move. However, the following battle left Elder Yu Yao dumbfounded. Boom! In the sky, a few balls of fire appeared behind the Lion King. A red flame appeared on its sharp claws. Its eyes were filled with excitement. How did it learn so many moves in such a short time? Lightning slash 3000. The giant thunder flame spider raised its two huge legs. In a flash of lightning, a strong force of thunder formed a powerful half-moon attack and blasted towards the Lion King. I don't believe that after this move you can still. Damn! Elder Yu Yao snorted. However, before he could finish his words, his expression changed drastically, because he saw the flames on the Lion King's body. It was also a half-moon attack. The only difference was that it was in the form of flames. Isn't this my beast-taming technique? Elder Yu Yao cursed as he glared at Ning Tian. What the hell was going on? Haha, this is indeed your beast-taming battle technique. Ning Tian laughed and admitted the truth. Then, the corners of his mouth curled up and he sneered. However, I've improved it a little. It's bigger than yours. Even more ferocious. Last longer. Just now, while he was using teaching and dispelling to learn the beast-taming combat technique, he was also using restoration martial arts to improve his moves. This is impossible. Elder Yu Yao said flatly. Who can improve this old man's beast-taming combat technique? Really? Seeing how confident Elder Yu Yao was, Ning Tian only smiled faintly. Then, he calmly shouted. Shabi, you've been strengthened. Quickly use flame slash 3000. Boom! Roar! The flame-sealing Lion King roared. Then, the horrifying flame suddenly rose. The half-moon flame that was only a few meters long suddenly became hundreds of meters long. Whoosh! The flame roared. Seeing this, Elder Yu Yao was dumbfounded. Damn it, my thunder half-moon is only a few meters long. You've improved it a little and it's hundreds of meters long. At this moment, the giant thunder flame spider was holding a dagger, while the flame-sealing Lion King was holding a huge saber. It was a huge saber that was hundreds of meters long. Who could withstand that? Giant thunder flame spider, run! Elder Yu Yao did not hesitate at all as he hurriedly shouted. Hiss, hiss! The giant thunder flame spider let out a panicked cry. Then, it moved its 8 hairy legs and turned to run. 10 meters. 50 meters, 90 meters. In the blink of an eye, it ran far away. Seeing this, Ning Tian did not do anything. Just as the giant thunder flame spider ran 199 meters, Ning Tian's voice rang out. Shabi chop it! Roar! The flame-sealing Lion King's flame blade fell. Accompanied by the roaring flame, it directly cut the giant thunder flame spider's body in half. In the midst of a miserable cry, the giant thunder flame spider exploded with green blood. In the blink of an eye, it died. Seeing this, Ning Tian's lips curled up. Sorry, the Lion King's flame slash has a distance of 3,000 meters. It's exactly 200 meters. Hiss! Hearing this, Lan Lenglang and the other Shanghai city people sucked in a breath of cold air. Killing someone's heart. I'll allow you to run 199 meters. At the last meter, I'll chop you to death. I gave you hope, but I also gave you great despair. My beloved pet. Elder Yu Yao's eyes widened. Looking at Ning Tian, there was only killing intent in his eyes. Kid, since you don't care about martial arts, then don't blame me for not caring about martial arts. Tisk, if you don't want to, just say it. Don't use me as an excuse. Ning Tian sneered. Humph. Elder Yu Yao snorted coldly. However, deep down in his heart there was a trace of deep shock. This kid was too ridiculous. Not only did he learn it on the spot, but the key was that the improved moves were many times stronger than his. Since that was the case, he could only use his killer move. Shh. He whistled, following which the imperial beast gourd shook. Numerous light shadows appeared and turned into monstrous beasts, appearing in Shanghai City. Including the few from before, there were a total of 13 of Elder Yu Yao's beasts. Since you don't care about martial arts, then I can only bully you with numbers. Elder Yu Yao sneered. His eyes shone brightly. Hearing this, Ning Tian looked over. These 13 beasts were not weak. They were all rank 6 beasts. At this moment, the system's voice sounded. You have shocked Elder Yu Yao. Rewarded Imperial Beast Battle Technique. King of Beasts. King of Beasts. Sha will roar and summon nearby beasts. King of Beasts? Summon beasts? Hearing this, Ning Tian was stunned. Very quickly, his eyes shone brightly. Without hesitation, he activated the King of Beasts. After activating the skill, the Lion King did not know why, but it really wanted to roar. Hence it roared. Awu! The moment his voice sounded out, the entire Shanghai city started to tremble. Sounds rang out one after another. Those were the roars of beasts. So many beasts. Outside Shanghai City, there are so many beasts. At least 100. There are also tens of rank 6 beasts. The rest are all rank 5 beasts. At this moment, the Imperial Beast sect disciples' faces changed. Zheng. At this moment, a goozing sound rang out. Without hesitation, Ning Tian played the sound of taming beasts. Instantly, these 100 beasts were temporarily under his control. Old man, who do you think is going to bully me with numbers? His lips curled up as he looked at Elder Yu Yao. At this moment, Elder Yu Yao looked like he had eaten **T. His face was extremely ugly. How did a good advantage suddenly become a huge disadvantage? Chapter 284. Roar. The entire area around Shanghai City was filled with beasts under the control of Ning Tian's beast-taming voice, surrounding the entire city. The disciples of the beast-taming sect, as well as Elder Yu Yao and his 13 beasts, were all trembling in fear. Despicable brat, you only know how to bully me with numbers! Elder Yu Yao snorted coldly. His old eyes were filled with flames of anger, and he ordered the 13 sixth-order demonic beasts to surround him. Bully me with numbers? Lan Lengleng and the rest of the Shanghai City people were stunned. This old man was too shameless. You're the one who said that you want to bully me with numbers, aren't you? However, Ning Tian was indifferent. Since he had more or less learned the beast-taming battle technique, then he could send this old man on his way. He lightly touched the strings of the immortal slashing guzheng, and then lightly stroked it. Heavenly music sounded. Clang! Instantly, the beasts controlled by the sound of taming beasts roared. Their eyes glowed red. Boom! Boom! In an instant, hundreds of beasts charged toward Elder Yu Yao. As they attacked, the ground trembled. A large portion of the houses in Shanghai City collapsed. Quick, block them! Seeing this scene, Elder Yu Yao's face turned pale with fright as he hurriedly shouted. Although the 13 beasts were afraid, they could not go against Elder Yu Yao's order. They could only brace themselves and fight. Roar! The fire-sealing Lion King roared. It was extremely excited as it charged at the front of the 100 beasts. Only now did it feel like a Lion King. Boom! The battle was about to start. Even if Elder Yu Yao continued to release the beast-taming battle technique, the numbers had already decided everything. The 13 sixth-order demonic beasts let out painful cries as blood flowed out of their bodies. They only managed to hold on for a few minutes before they were pinned to the ground by the hundreds of demonic beasts and brutally slaughtered. Seeing this, Elder Yuyao's heart ached. However, it was better for him to take care of himself. Taking advantage of the chaos caused by the hundreds of beasts, he wanted to leave. However, a figure appeared in front of him. When he looked over, his face changed. It was that ugly kid. Wait, handsome Ning. You're from the Tianma cult. At this moment, he suddenly remembered the incident in Zhongzhou a few months ago. When he saw Ning Tian appear in the sky, he immediately thought of something. Humph. However, before he could finish his sentence, Ning Tian appeared beside him in a flash. He sealed his mouth with spiritual energy and said in a voice filled with killing intent, "If you knew this earlier, you wouldn't have died." As Ning Tian's cold laughter fell, Elder Yu Yao's eyes widened and a trace of blood appeared at the corner of his mouth. Ning Tian's hand, which was pressed against his chest, flickered with lightning. The violent power of the tribulation lightning had completely shattered his heart. You're shameless. Elder Yu Yao's eyes were filled with resentment. The life force in his body slowly dissipated. His body fell from the sky and landed heavily on the ground. He was instantly trampled flat by a group of monsters. Never in his wildest dreams would he have thought that a 9 tribulations emperor would use such a method to kill him. When Elder Yu Yao died, his connection with the 13 rank 6 beasts was severed. All of his defenses were shattered. Hundreds of beasts surrounded the corpses of the 13 beasts and gnawed on them. Blood gushed out and broken limbs flew everywhere. Seeing this scene, even the cultivators in Shanghai City felt their hearts palpitate. Roar! Just as the group of demonic beasts were fighting to be the first to eat, the Sealing Flame Lion King roared. All the demonic beasts stopped and looked at the Sealing Flame Lion King fearfully. Oh! Seeing this, Ning Tian's eyes flashed. Logically speaking, without his order, the beasts would only be afraid of him. They wouldn't even bat an eye at the Lion King. But now, the Lion King's roar had actually intimidated them. Could it be, is it the effect of the ancient Beast King bloodline? When he had first met the Sealing Flame Lion King, the system had said that its body contained the bloodline of an ancient demonic Beast King. Now, it should be because of the bloodline in its body that intimidated the beast. I just don't know how powerful Sha Bai will become after completely awakening the demonic beast bloodline in his body. But, although it's strong, I hope that when it fully awakens, its intelligence will increase by a few 100 million points, Ning Tian muttered. At this moment, the Sealing Flame Lion King strode towards the hundreds of demonic beasts with an arrogant look on its face. The demonic beasts quickly made way for it. It walked in and started to feast on the corpses of the 13 rank 6 beasts. However, it didn't devour them. Instead, it used its sharp teeth to tear open the stomach of the beast. After searching for a while, a pearl with rich spiritual energy appeared in the flesh. Beast Spirit Pearl? Ning Tian couldn't help but mutter to herself when she saw this. It seemed like Sha Bai wasn't stupid. At least when it came to eating, it wasn't stupid. This Beast Spirit Pearl was something that only rank 6 beasts and above had. Not to mention that it was crunchy, the key was that it contained the essence of the beast. Very quickly, the Lion King found the Beast Spirit Pearl in the stomach of the 13 rank 6 beasts. Under the envious gazes of the surrounding beasts, Sha Bai ate one by one. The hundreds of beasts around were drooling, but none of them dared to step forward. After eating, the Lion King wiped its mouth. Then, it looked at Ning Tian. Its huge beast eyes looked around. Then, it seemed to have thought of something. It looked at the 3-headed giant horse on the ground, and its mouth curled into an evil smile. At the side, Ning Tian landed from the sky. He walked towards the people of Shanghai City. "Senior brother, where's Elder Yu Yao?" Lan Ling walked over and frowned. She looked at Ning Tian and asked. Just now, all of their gazes were on the battle between the beasts. They didn't see the scene where Ning Tian killed Elder Yao. Dead? Ning Tian said indifferently as she pointed at a pile of flesh and blood not far away. Dead, dead. The people of Shanghai City were shocked and looked over. As expected, they saw a pile of flesh on the ground. TSK, TSK. Tragic, too tragic. The city lord of Shanghai City, Old Tian, was so emotional that his body trembled. Tears flowed down his face. He's finally dead. The heavens have eyes. Pei, you destroyed the statue of the founder. Retribution has come. The people of Shanghai City were also emotional. Thank you, senior brother, for saving us today. Lan Ling brought a group of Tianma cult disciples over and bowed to Ning Tian. Chapter 285. It's okay. Ning Tian waved his hand. At the side, many younger junior brothers and sisters looked at Ning Tian curiously and muttered in their hearts, although this Ning Shuai is a little ugly compared to senior brother, he's a nice person. Senior brother Ning, did the sect send only one person? At this moment, Lan Lingling asked again. Yes. Ning Tian nodded slightly and said with a smile, the Grand Elders trust me, so they sent me alone? So that's the case. Lan Lingling and the others were enlightened. Roar. The Lion King roared. It leaped over and landed in front of the crowd. Looking at this demonic beast that had just displayed its might, many people in Shanghai City looked at it with reverence and respect. Shabi, what's wrong? Ning Tian frowned and asked. Roar, the flame-sealing Lion King roared twice in excitement. Then, it opened its bloody claws and Ning Tian saw a strip that was almost a few meters long. He was stunned and his face turned black. Isn't this the whip of the three-headed giant horse? Shabi, what's the meaning of this? What's the meaning of this? A ferocious glint flashed in Ning Tian's eyes as he looked coldly at the Lion King. Horse whip? Hearing this, many people in Shanghai City were stunned. When they came to their senses, their eyes instantly widened. Damn! What a tonic! The group of male cultivators widened their eyes in excitement as they looked at the several-meter-long object in the Lion King's hand. Their eyes were filled with desire. As for the female disciples, they couldn't help but spit in their hearts. Who would have thought that this majestic-looking lion was also an old pervert? Roar, roar! When the Lion King saw Ning Tian looking at it like that, it immediately cowered. It could only gesture and roar a few times. Forget it! After listening to the Lion King's explanation, Ning Tian was too lazy to pursue the matter. That senior brother, can you sell this horsewhip to me? At this time, a Tianma cult disciple asked cautiously. Senior brother, I'm weak, I'm really weak. Give me some nourishment. Yeah, it's so long. Let me have a bite. Senior brother, I have a friend called Gujiang. He's very weak and needs this urgently. At the side, a group of disciples also joined in the commotion. Who wouldn't want such a great tonic? Hearing the words of the surrounding disciples, Ning Tian fell silent for a moment. Then, he revealed a troubled expression. Although I'm very fierce and don't need this, unfortunately, I have a friend called Ning. He's not an ordinary hollow, so, I see. Then, senior brother, you should keep the horsewhip. After all, friends are more important. Hearing senior brother Ning Shuai's words, the group of disciples revealed sympathetic looks, shook their heads, and sighed. Cough, Ning Tian coughed dryly before stowing this tonic away into her storage ring without batting an eyelid. It was a good thing, so it was better to be prepared. Following which, he looked at the group of monsters. At this time, these hundreds of monsters had already eaten up all the corpses on the ground. He activated the sound of beasts once more, dispelling his control over them. Very quickly, these hundreds of demonic beasts dispersed and returned to the forest near Shanghai City. The reason why he didn't tame them was because he couldn't tame so many monsters. His control over them was only temporary. At most, if he needed more monsters, he could just let the Sealing Flame Lion King use the King of Beasts and roar. Thank you for your help. Unfortunately, the statue of the ancestor was destroyed. Sigh. At this time, the lord of Shanghai City, Old Tian, walked over with his crutches. He sighed, and his tone was filled with helplessness. He thanked Ning Tian and the others. Hearing this, Ning Tian looked at his destroyed statue and frowned. He looked at Old Tian. I didn't expect Old Tian to value the statue so much. Of course, the ancestor is the person I admire the most in my life. At the mention of the founder, Elder Tian's turbid old eyes actually sparkled with excitement. He proudly grinned, revealing a few sparse teeth. To tell you the truth, this old man often hugs the founder's portrait to sleep. Ning Tian was stunned. Very quickly, a huge question mark appeared in his head. This old man, don't tell me he has a homosexual fetish? He subconsciously distanced himself from Old Tian. Old Tian did not mind. Looking at the half-destroyed Shanghai City, he could not help but sigh. Following which, he ordered the civilians to clean up the ruins. Junior Sister Lan, are there any more strongholds of the beast-controlling sect nearby? Old Tian and the others got busy. Ning Tian didn't forget about his business. He came here for two things. Firstly, they had to resolve the crisis in Shanghai City in the south of Dongxing. Secondly, they had to deal with the Imperial Beast sect disciples that had invaded the south of Dongxing. They had to create a diversion so that the Supreme Elder could attack the Imperial Beast sect. Now, the first point had been completed. Next, it was time for the second point. Beast-controlling sect strongholds? Hearing Ning Tian's words, Lan was stunned. She pursed her lips and pondered for a while. Then, she said slowly, well, there is one. It's in the Valley of Beasts to the east of Shanghai City. But, halfway through her words, Lan paused. But what? Hearing the key information, Ning Tian frowned and asked immediately. But the beast-controlling sect seems to have discovered something in the Valley of Beasts. The security there is tighter than before. Lan said slowly. Discovered something? Ning Tian was silent for a while. Valley of Beasts? Mysterious thing? What was it? A hint of curiosity arose in his heart. At this moment, Lan looked at Ning Tian coldly. Senior brother, are you going alone? Yes. Don't you need us to go with you? No need. Ning Tian shook her head and said indifferently, you will only affect the speed at which I kill people. That unintentionally flowing aura caused Lan Lingling and the surrounding disciples to fall into silence. This aura, it seems like I know who he is. Lan Lingling's beautiful eyes flashed with excitement. Then, she said, Senior brother, follow me. After speaking, she pulled Ning Tian to the side. Junior sister, what's the matter? Ning Tian asked. It's... Lan Lingling's eyes flashed with craftiness. That's right. Should I call you ancestor? Or senior brother Ning Shui? Ning Tian was silent. It seemed like he was recognized. Shoo, don't say it. He did not want to expose his identity, and he did not want Elder Tian to know that he was the ancestor that he had been thinking about. Otherwise, who knew what kind of strange actions he would do? Chapter 286. Hearing Ning Tian's words, Lan Lingling nodded sensibly. No wonder she found the name Ning Shuibi so familiar at first. In addition, this senior fellow apprentice had the same despicable momentum as the patriarch, so she immediately thought of it. And Ning Tian nodded and looked at her. You guys deal with the matters in Shanghai City and wait for me to return. Yes, Zhu. Senior brother Ning Shuibi. Lan Lingling agreed. Okay, Shabi, let's go. After speaking, Ning Tian turned around and jumped onto the back of the ceiling flame Lion King. One man and one beast quickly jumped into the sky and disappeared. Lan Lingling looked at the direction Ning Tian left and muttered in her heart, do these peerless experts like to travel incognito? It's strange. At this moment, a group of Tianma cult disciples surrounded them. Senior Sister Lan, is Senior Brother really going to deal with the beast-controlling sect in the Valley of Beasts alone? Some disciples were worried. No worries, this senior brother Ning Shuaibi is not simple. A cunning look flashed across Lan Lengling's eyes, and she shook her head. We just need to wait for senior brother's good news. Hearing this, the group of disciples nodded in understanding. Shanghai City was surrounded by mountain ranges and ancient trees. Many powerful demonic beasts were hidden in the deep forests of the mountain range. However, the Valley of Beasts was the place with the most beasts and the strongest beasts. Valley of Beasts. Many iron cages were erected, and many huge beasts were locked up. There were many white-robed disciples guarding the cages. At this moment, a young disciple walked over and hollered at the group of disciples. Quick, quick! Elder Azure Lotus said that he wants us to kill these demon beasts and extract their blood essence. Release them. Kill all of them? Hearing this, the surrounding disciples couldn't help but be taken aback. It took a lot of effort to catch these demonic beasts. Wasn't it too much of a waste to kill them just like that? Elder Bu Yao and Elder Bai Lian said that if we kill these demonic beasts, we might be able to activate the altar with their blood essence, said the young disciple. Yes. Hearing this, the group of disciples nodded and walked towards the iron cage. Now that Elder Yu Yao was not around, it was naturally up to these two elders to make the decision. Boom! Rumble! As the iron cage was opened, the iron door slammed heavily onto the ground. Dust flew up from the ground, and a series of rumbling sounds rang out. Then, the sound of the iron door crashing to the ground could be heard. Dozens of metal cages were opened. When the dozens of demonic beasts saw the iron cage open, their eyes immediately flashed with a crimson light, and they quickly fled in all directions. However, the disciples of the Beast Control sect were already prepared. Their blades flashed and their figures moved, killing the fleeing demonic beasts in an instant. Fresh blood flowed endlessly. "Bring me a bucket to collect the essence blood," shouted a disciple of the Imperial Beast sect. Following that, the surrounding disciples took out wooden buckets that they had prepared beforehand and began to collect the blood essence. The blood essence of dozens of demonic beasts was not even 1/10 of the contents of this wooden barrel. "Continue killing," the two elders said, "to collect the blood essence until this wooden barrel is full," shouted the young disciple. Yes. In an instant, the entire Valley of Beasts was filled with the cries of demonic beasts. Soon, blood flowed like a river, and the corpses of the demonic beasts piled up like mountains. An entire bucket of demonic beasts' blood essence had been collected. The young disciple glanced at the corpses of the demonic beasts and said calmly, "Don't waste these corpses. Summon your beasts and let them eat them as food." "Yes, Senior." The hundreds of disciples of the Beast Control sect nodded. A Beast Control weapon appeared in their hand. They blew gently and bursts of light flashed. Hundreds of Beast Control sect's demonic beasts appeared and headed towards the corpses of the demonic beasts. While the Beast Control sect's demonic beasts were eating the corpses, the young disciple picked up a bucket of blood essence and walked towards a place in the Valley of Beasts. It was a cave. In the cave, it was scarlet, and all kinds of strange formations were engraved everywhere. Deep in the cave, there were two elders in green. They were frowning at an altar in front of them. The altar was covered in dust. There was a small groove in the middle, and there were some ancient totems around it. "I think this might be a switch for the Beast King's mausoleum." Elder Bu Yao frowned slightly and said slowly, "Maybe." Elder Azure Lotus nodded in agreement. "Let's pour the blood essence in after we've collected it. Maybe we'll know." At this moment, footsteps came from behind them. The young disciple walked over with a bucket of blood essence. "Elders, the blood essence has been collected." "Very good." Elder Bu Yao and Elder Azure Lotus's eyes lit up. They walked over and used their fingers to touch the blood essence in the wooden bucket, then put it into their mouth. "Scarlet, sweet. It's really good blood essence. Come, pour all of this in," the two elders said. "Yes." The young disciple nodded. He lifted the wooden bucket and poured it into the groove on the altar. The dark red blood essence flowed in the groove, but there did not seem to be any changes. Seeing this scene, Elder Bu Yao frowned slightly. Could it be that they were wrong? Elder Azure Lotus waved his hand. Forget it. Let's wait first. Boom. At this moment, outside in the Valley of Beasts, there was a roar. Even the entire cave shook violently. What's going on? The expressions of the three people in the cave changed instantly. A trace of seriousness flashed through their eyes. Come, let's go out and take a look, Elder Azure Lotus said indifferently. Then, the three of them hurriedly walked out of the cave. They walked out of the cave. When the three of them walked out, they saw that all the disciples and demon beasts of the beast-controlling sect were stunned on the spot. They were all looking in the same direction. It was a cloud of dust. Their vision was a little blurry, but they could vaguely see a huge creature in it. What's that? A demon beast? The expressions of the disciples of the beast-controlling sect changed slightly. Since it fell from the sky, it meant that it was at least a rank 6 demon beast, which was equivalent to a saint emperor of the human race. Everyone, don't be afraid. Don't worry, we have Elder Bu Yao and Elder Azure Lotus. With the two of them here, a mere rank 6 demon beast is no match for them. The group of disciples swallowed their saliva and forced themselves to calm down. When the dust dispersed, everyone could finally see the true appearance of the huge creature. It was covered in golden fur, and its limbs were burning with flames. It was over 10 meters tall. It really is a rank 6 demon beast. A disciple's pupils constricted. Wait, there's another person on the back of that demon beast. At this moment they noticed the person. They all looked at the back of the rank 6 demon beast and saw a figure. Who are you? Elder Azure Lotus asked slowly. His intuition told him that this person was not simple at all. Very soon an indifferent voice sounded. The person who will kill you. Chapter 287. His voice was calm, but it was filled with killing intent. What? Elder Bu Yao and Elder Bai Lian's expressions changed, then they sneered. Just you? A mere person dares to barge into our beast trainer sect stronghold? Ridiculous. How ridiculous. Take him down. I'd like to see who's so bold, Elder Bai Lian ordered. He did not waste any time and directly ordered the group of beast trainer sect disciples to attack. Yes, Elder Bai Lian. Hearing the elder's words, the hundreds of beast trainer sect disciples all responded. Then, they each took out their beast-taming weapons and placed them by their mouths to use the way of beast taming. Waves of strange music sounded one after another. Then, the hundreds of monsters' eyes glowed red, and their auras became violent. Their scarlet eyes fell on the man and the beast. Go! Tear this man and this beast to shreds! Boom! Hundreds of beast-taming voices sounded, forming a huge sound wave that entered the ears of the hundreds of monsters. After the order was given, they charged over as if they had gone mad. Roar! Seeing the hundreds of monsters charging over, the Flaming Lion King let out a questioning sound. It's fine. Ning Tian shook his head indifferently. The corners of his mouth curled into a smile. Then, he simply sat cross-legged on the Flaming Lion King's back. His indifferent voice sounded. Your monsters are not bad. Unfortunately, they'll be mine in the next second. Elder Bu Yao and Elder Billion were taken aback by his words. The disciples of the Beast Control sect were also bewildered. Haha, pretending to be mysterious, Elder Bai Lian sneered. His eyes were filled with indifference. Kid, you want to control the hundreds of monsters of my beast trainer sect? Ridiculous. If you can control these hundreds of monsters, I'll eat a monster on the spot. At this moment, hearing Elder Bai Lian's words, the group of beast trainer sect disciples came back to their senses and understood the meaning of Ning Tian's words. However, they were not worried because they were using the beast trainer sect's top way of beast taming. This guy wanted to control them? It was simply a fantasy. Really? Ning Tian's lips curled into a mocking smile. The storage ring on his hand flashed, and the immortal End Guzheng appeared before him. Immortal weapon? Elder Bu Yao's turbid eyes flashed with greed when he sensed the Tao of rhythm from the immortal exterminating zither. If he could have such a celestial artifact to play the sound of taming beasts, he might even be able to control seventh-order demonic beasts. At this moment, even his breathing became a little hurried. At this moment, Ning Tian's fingers had already landed on the immortal exalted Guzheng. His finger technique was plain and unremarkable. Clang, a sound as soft as a mosquito's buzzing rang out. There was no commotion, no explosion, and no excessive flourishes. Pooh! Ah! That's it? That's it. I was wondering how ruthless it would be. So it's just this. What a waste of his immortal artifact! Sigh. What a waste! Elder Bu Yao and Elder Azure Lotus were stunned for a moment before they burst into laughter. These two old men were laughing like 3-year-old children. The group of Beast Trainer sect disciples also burst into laughter. Really? Ning Tian's lips curled up slightly. He looked at the group of laughing Beast Trainer sect disciples as if he was looking at a bunch of clowns. At this moment, no one noticed. Hundreds of demonic beasts were stunned for a moment when the soft, mosquito-like celestial zither music rang out. Soon after, the red glow in their eyes quietly disappeared, and a deep black glow occupied their entire pupils. Boom! At this moment, a small giant ape that was dozens of meters tall suddenly turned around, extended its 2 giant hands, and smashed the original owner of the immortal exterminating zither into a meat patty. Ha 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 ha! Arg! What did it mean to stop abruptly? It meant to stop abruptly. The surroundings fell into a dead silence. Countless Beast Trainer sect disciples were stunned on the spot, and their eyes widened. What was going on? Roar. Then, the demonic beasts that belonged to them began to roar angrily. They instantly changed sides and charged at the Beast Trainer sect disciples. F***CK. Run. The Beast Trainer sect disciples did not dare to resist at all. As the previous owners of these demonic beasts, they naturally knew how powerful these demonic beasts were. This, Elder Azure Lotus, who had just said he wanted to eat a demonic beast raw, was stunned on the spot. Ahem. He could not help but blush when he sensed the gazes of the two people beside him. He coughed dryly and said, "This kid is just showing off the power of his immortal artifact. As long as the Beast Trainer sound array is activated, the control of the demonic beasts will be easily taken back." Then, a faint light flashed in his hand, and a formation diagram fell into his hand. He threw it at the group of disciples as he shouted, "Quick! Find the formation position and activate the Beast Trainer sound array to take back control of the demonic beasts." As soon as he finished speaking, the formation diagram that was flashing with golden light instantly changed. When it landed on the ground, a huge formation appeared on the ground. It's Elder Azure Lotus Beast Trainer sound array. Seeing this scene, the group of disciples' eyes lit up. They suddenly had hope. "Quick! Everyone, find your positions and activate the Beast Trainer sound array." With a loud shout, the group of disciples found their positions, and the Beast Trainer artifacts appeared in their hands. Each of them activated the Beast Trainer sound array. Boom! With the support of the Beast Trainer sound array, the group of disciples' Beast Trainer sound array was amplified by almost 10 times, and the effect was also greatly enhanced. Ha ha! With my Beast Trainer sound array, so what if you have an immortal artifact? Don't tell me you can win against the Beast Trainers of hundreds of people? Elder Azure Lotus was extremely pleased with himself when he saw this scene. Come on, increase the intensity and continue playing. Take back control. Elder Azure Lotus shouted loudly. However, at this moment, boom! They saw Ning Tian plucking the strings again, and a sound wave appeared. In just a blink of an eye, the sound wave formed by the hundreds of disciples instantly collapsed. Blarg! Blarg! The sound of people vomiting blood could be heard. The sound of subduing beasts they had used had been destroyed in an extremely brutal manner. Even they had suffered quite a bit of damage from it. How is this possible? Elder Azure Lotus's expression was extremely ugly. He gritted his yellow teeth and shouted, "Don't panic. Continue using the sound of beasts. As long as this old man's sound of beasts is still active, it'll be fine." Holy shit. Before Elder Azure Lotus could finish speaking, Ning Tian played another piece of music. Clang. The powerful sound wave swept over and instantly destroyed the beast trainer sound array that Elder Azure Lotus was extremely proud of. Arg, barf. The group of disciples standing in the center of the array flew out on the spot. They spat out mouthfuls of blood, and their auras instantly weakened. Chapter 288. My Beast Taming Sound Array. Seeing this, Elder Azure Lotus was stunned for a moment before he let out a heart-wrenching scream. The other two fell silent as well. Damn it! This is all a fluke. I don't believe you can kill them in seconds. A cold glint flashed across Elder Azure Lotus's eyes as he gritted his teeth and said coldly. As soon as he said that, the group of disciples nearby turned pale. Elder Azure Lotus, you jinx! What are you saying? Boom! At this moment, hundreds of demonic beasts suddenly rushed over. This caused them, who were already affected, to feel a deep sense of despair. Ah! Help! The ground trembled as the hundreds of beasts vented their anger on the group of beast-taming sect disciples. The hundreds of disciples looked so pale and powerless in front of this group of beasts. In just a few minutes, the ground was a mess as fresh blood dyed the ground red. Originally, there were hundreds of disciples, but now there were only 20 or so disciples left. Damn it, I don't believe you! Elder Azure Lotus's expression was extremely ugly. Ning Tian had not made a move yet, so the two of them did not dare to act rashly. However, before he could finish speaking, he saw a bloody disciple crawling over with difficulty. He said to him, "Elder Azure Lotus, I beg you, please shut up. It's true. If you continue talking like this, we'll all die here." This, Elder Azure Lotus was stunned and shook his head. How can it be my problem? Then, he looked at the disciple sincerely and said slowly, "Don't worry, you'll definitely survive." Damn it! My life is over. The disciple was stunned and his heart was filled with despair. At the same time, the top of his head turned black as a giant foot landed heavily on his body. He did not even have time to scream before his body was instantly flattened. Elder Azure Lotus was stunned. Elder Bu Yao and the young disciple were also stunned. Poison, poison? Gulp. Elder Bu Yao and the young disciple swallowed their saliva with difficulty and subconsciously retreated a little. This Elder Azure Lotus was poisonous. At this moment, Elder Azure Lotus finally realized that his mouth seemed to have some sort of miraculous ability. His old eyes instantly lit up as he looked at the remaining 20 disciples of the Beast Control sect. Seeing Elder Azure Lotus's gaze, the 20 disciples were stunned and hurriedly shook their heads. Please have mercy. Don't worry. Elder Azure Lotus grinned, revealing his yellow teeth. So he had such an amazing ability. He sneered. Poison? That doesn't exist. Let's see how I reverse poison healing you. Elder Azure Lotus roared and pointed at the 20 disciples. All of you must die. Hearing this, the rest of the disciples were startled. Then, they heaved a sigh of relief. According to the plot just now, if they were poisoned, they should be able to survive, right? Elder Azure Lotus had finally said something reasonable. As you wish. But at this moment, Ning Tian's indifferent voice rang out, and the immortal music of his celestial end zither began to play. Boom! In an instant, several large bear-type beasts jumped high and sat down. The 20 disciples of the beast-controlling sect died tragically in an instant. Elder Bu Yao and the young disciples' mouths twitched. Great, they were really poisoned to death. Damn it, you killed my 20 disciples in seconds just like that? Elder Azure Lotus's eyes flashed with murderous intent. He did not care about the hundreds of beasts and charged directly at Ning Tian. Don't. Azure Lotus, come back. Elder Bu Yao's expression changed slightly. That brat wasn't simple at all. Their original plan was to stall him and wait for the powerful Elder Yu Yao to return before killing this brat. But now everything was a mess. Damn it. Seeing this, he gritted his teeth and could only lead the young disciple to follow. Boom. The two of them leaped into the air. The three of them unleashed their auras. 2 heavenly venerables and 1 holy emperor aura appeared. Roar! The flaming Lion King roared. Under Ning Tian's command, the hundreds of beasts charged at the three of them again. Ning Tian did not feel bad about using their beasts to kill them even if they died. Anyway, these beasts were only temporarily under his control. They were not too strong. If they died, they died. In an instant, the hundreds of 5th stage beasts charged at the three of them. Motherf *****. Elder Bu Yao and the other two cursed. Although they felt bad, they still attacked the beasts they had raised. Soon, a bloody battle was about to break out. Ning Tian, on the other hand, looked at the scene indifferently as if she was watching a show. Half an hour later, Elder Bu Yao and Elder Azure Lotus were covered in blood. They crawled out of the mountain of beasts' corpses and glared at Ning Tian, who was sitting on the flaming Lion King's back and eating an apple. As for the young disciple, he was only a 1-star holy emperor. In such a situation, even the 2 elders could not protect him. Brat, you must die. Bu Yao, let's go. Elder Azure Lotus's eyes flashed with resentment. After giving Elder Bu Yao a look, he charged at Ning Tian. After the 2 old men went through a big battle, their auras were still stable, and their speed was still fast. Seeing this, Ning Tian unhurriedly finished the apple in his hand. Then, he fiddled with the celestial end zither in front of him. His fingers moved slightly. Clang! Celestial music from the zither sounded, and a wave of pressure instantly enveloped Elder Bu Yao and Elder Azure Lotus. Their figures suddenly slowed down. At the same time, Ning Tian jumped down from the flaming Lion King's back. He activated his martial art, Flash Shift, and charged at the 2 of them like a ghost. A black light flickered in his hand. That was the heavenly demon fist. Following the principle of I accelerate while you decelerate, it was the same as you imprison me. Ning Tian was confident that even Elder Bu Yao and Elder Azure Lotus, 2 2-star Empyreans, would not be able to dodge this move. This is the Sky Devil Fist. This kid is from the Tianma cult. When they saw the fist intent flowing in Ning Tian's hand, Elder Azure Lotus and Elder Bu Yao's expressions immediately changed. They wanted to dodge, but at that moment, the immortal Endguzheng that Ning Tian had left on the Lion King's back vibrated once more. Their speed instantly slowed down by more than 10 times. It was also at this moment that Ning Tian's figure appeared before the 2 of them like a ghost. Activate Fist Dao. The moment he activated his Fist Dao, Ning Tian's fist intent circulated around his fist. Within a second, he unleashed dozens of sky demon fists. Aura 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 aura. Mutta 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 mutta. The wind from his fists whistled, leaving only afterimages. Chapter 289. Bam! Bam bam! The sound of punches hitting flesh could be heard continuously. Elder Bu Yao and Elder Billion could only feel the excruciating pain coming from their bodies as they spat out blood. Boom! Another punch. The 2 of them flew backward and landed heavily on a mountain peak not far away. In an instant, the mountain peak collapsed and crushed the 2 of them under the rubble. The 2 elders struggled to get up from the rubble. Elder Billion wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and secretly said, "This kid is not someone we can deal with. Let's retreat first. We'll deal with him after we regroup with Elder Yu Yao." Elder Bu Yao nodded. The two of them looked at each other and shook their bodies. The rubble around them was instantly shattered. They leaped into the sky again and maintained a distance of about 100 meters from Ning Tian. Elder Billion looked at Ning Tian proudly and snorted. "Kid, do you know what our strongest move is?" Ning Tian raised an eyebrow and a look of awe flashed across her eyes. She said calmly, "Then let's see how it goes." "Kid, watch carefully. This is our strongest move when we join forces." The two old men nodded heavily and circulated the spirit energy in their bodies. It was as if the surrounding space was about to be torn apart. Roar! Not far away, even the ceiling flame Lion King could feel the power of this move. This move is called Run. Boom. Elder Bu Yao and Elder Billion let out a sonic boom and flew hundreds of meters away in the blink of an eye. Ning Tian, Ceiling Flame Lion King, the man and beast were stunned. This was Elder Bu Yao and Elder Billion's strongest move? Indeed, Bu Yao and Billion. What a shameless move! Ning Tian's face darkened. He took a step forward and stepped into the void. Roar! Seeing this, the Ceiling Flame Lion King couldn't help but roar twice and widen its eyes. These two old men are strong. This is the first time I've seen someone who's even more shameless than my master. Thousands of meters away in the sky, Elder Bu Yao and Elder Billion slowly slowed down and looked behind them. It was empty, not even a bird. They immediately heaved a sigh of relief. Ha ha ha! I knew it. That brat wouldn't be able to react to our escape technique. Elder Azure Lotus smiled smugly. Yes. Anyways, let's go to Shanghai City first and meet up with Elder Yao. That kid is from the Tianma cult. Once we capture a few Tianma cult disciples to threaten him, let's see how he can still jump around. Elder Bu Yao's eyes flashed coldly as he spoke. The two of them made up their minds and were about to leave. However, at this moment, an indifferent voice sounded. Elder Yao is dead. Now it's your turn. The two elders were taken aback by his words. In front of them, Ning Tian stepped out of the void. F***CK. Master of the Void? A great emperor expert? Bu Yao and Bai Lian immediately exclaimed in surprise, and a wisp of deep shock flashed through their eyes. It turned out that the young man in front of them was actually a great emperor expert. F***CK. You're a great emperor expert, yet you dare to trick us? You're really shameless. I understand now. Elder Azure Lotus suddenly realized. His turbid eyes landed on Ning Tian. Master of the Void and the Tianma Fist. You're so ugly. You're handsome Ning. No, that's not right. You're Ning Tian, the legendary patriarch of the Tianma cult. Tianma cult, legendary patriarch. Boom. These 7 words were like thunder, heavily bombarding Elder Bu Yao and Elder Billion. Our legendary patriarch. The two of them swallowed their saliva with difficulty. You've shocked Bu Yao and Billion. Rewarded sword technique, intermediate earth rank instant slash. At this moment, the system's voice sounded in his mind. Comprehending sword Dao, instant slash. Soon, Ning Tian had comprehended a new technique. He looked indifferently at Elder Bu Yao and Elder Billion. There's a prize for guessing correctly. A cold glint flashed in his eyes. He said slowly, as for the reward, I'll grant you death. As soon as he finished speaking, he stepped into the void and instantly teleported dozens of meters away. He appeared in front of the two elders like a ghost. In his hand, the Scarlet Heaven sword appeared and ignited with a wisp of blazing flames. Sword Dao, instant slash. The flames waved, leaving a perfect flame pattern in the air. The sword light had already cut the two elders in half. The scorching flames instantly extinguished their souls. The two halves of the bodies fell from the sky and landed heavily on the ground, turning into a pool of flesh and blood. Ning Tian didn't stay any longer. He turned and disappeared into the sky. In the Valley of Beasts, Ning Tian descended from the sky. He hadn't forgotten what the people from the Beast Control sect had discovered here. What exactly is it? He frowned slightly. Roar! At this moment, the Sealing Flame Lion King roared at him. You mean, you want me to follow you? Ning Tian looked at the Sealing Flame Lion King and asked with a frown. Roar! The Sealing Flame Lion King nodded seriously. Then, it wagged its tail and walked toward a place in the Valley of Beasts. As it walked, it sniffed the ground. Seeing this, Ning Tian frowned slightly. Was this guy a dog? Shaking his head, he followed the Lion King with doubts. Soon, the Sealing Flame Lion King brought Ning Tian to the cave. What a strong smell of blood! In front of the cave, Ning Tian smelled the blood essence. Let's go, Shabi. Let's go in, he said. The Sealing Flame Lion King looked at the narrow cave and hesitated. But soon, it said in its heart, I'm not fat. I can definitely go in. Then, it moved its body and rushed over. Boom! In an instant, more than half of its body went in. Only its butt was still stuck. Seeing this, Ning Tian shook her head and unceremoniously kicked Shabi's fat butt. Immediately, Shabi's entire body was sucked into it. Ning Tian followed. After entering, he realized that this cave was a different world. Although the entrance was small, it was quite spacious. At the very least, the Sealing Flame Lion King could move freely. Rumble! At this moment, a bubbling sound came from the depths of the cave. Let's go and take a look. A man and a beast walked toward the source of the sound. Soon, a blood-red altar appeared in front of Ning Tian. This is? Ning Tian frowned and walked forward. At a glance, the altar was full of strange and ancient arrays. In the middle, there was a groove. The groove was filled with demonic beast blood essence. The pungent smell of blood was emitted from it. Boom! At this moment. Chapter 290. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Blood bubbles rose from the blood pool. Then, the blood bubbles burst and the blood essence energy contained within spilled onto the altar. Buzz. When the blood essence burst out from the blood bubbles and spilled onto the altar, the strange array on the altar seemed to have absorbed the energy and began to slowly light up, emitting bursts of red light. Seeing this scene, Ning Tian's eyes flashed with a glimmer of light as he fell into deep thought. His gaze silently looked at the blood pool. As the array absorbed the blood essence energy, the blood essence in the groove became less and less. Dozens of minutes later, the strange and ancient array on the altar was already 90% lit, but there was no blood essence energy left in the blood pool at this time. The entire array appeared to be stagnant. It seems that it's still lacking a bit of blood essence, Ning Tian murmured. However, if he left rashly at this time, if something strange happened to the blood pool and he was not around, wouldn't it be easy for something to go wrong? Roar! At this time, the Flame Sealing Lion King saw Ning Tian frowning and couldn't help but ask with concern. I'm fine. Ning Tian shook his head. Suddenly, he reacted. Wait a minute? Wasn't there a ready-made blood essence beside him? Shabi, come over here. Ning Tian turned around and curled her finger at the Flame Sealing Lion King with a smile. Roar! The Flame Sealing Lion King was stunned and looked at Ning Tian with a dumbfounded face. It's okay, just come over. Ning Tian continued to smile and said. Roar! The Flame Sealing Lion King's face was full of vigilance as it roared twice in confusion. Oh? You mean the Scarlet Cloud sword in my hand? I'm just going to cut your nails for you. Ning Tian smiled. Unknowingly, the Scarlet Cloud sword appeared in his hand and a cold light flashed across the sword. Roar! The Flame Sealing Lion King subconsciously retreated. Soon, the Shabi lion's heart-wrenching scream echoed in the cave. After a while, Flame Sealing Lion King squatted in a small corner with an aggrieved expression. It covered its butt with one hand and drew circles on the ground with its other hand with a sharp claw. Seeing this scene, Ning Tian couldn't help but roll his eyes. He said snappily, Didn't I just get a little bit of your essence blood? Is there a need for this? As he spoke, He lifted the large wooden bucket in his hand and poured the blood essence of the Lion King into the blood pool. Roar! The corner of the Lion King's mouth twitched when he saw the large bucket of essence blood. Was this just a little bit? I, Master Lion, have finished giving birth. All right. After this matter is over, I'll find you 2 lionesses to nourish your body, okay? After Ning Tian finished pouring out the blood essence, he put the wooden bucket aside. Roar! After hearing this, the lion's eyes widened. It was originally dispirited, but it suddenly became spirited and roared at Ning Tian. Roar! 2 isn't enough? You want 5? Ning Tian was taken aback. He shook his head helplessly and agreed. All right, 5 it is. Roar! Flame-Sealing Lion King was extremely excited. When it thought of 5 lionesses, the corner of its mouth couldn't help but curl up and drool continuously. Come, eat this spirit medicine and recover on your own. Ning Tian finally calmed down this Phoebe lion's mentality. He casually took out a few spirit herbs from his storage ring and tossed them to the fiery Lion King. His gaze once again fell on the mysterious altar. This time, with the energy of the Lion King's essence blood, the spell formation on the altar lit up with a red light. Soon, the ancient spell formation on the altar was completely lit up. Boom! Boom! When the spell formation lit up, a violent tremor came from the cave. Many pieces of rock fell from the top of the cave. Seeing this, Ning Tian used his spirit energy to protect himself. He frowned and looked around. Could it be that the cave is going to collapse? Just as he was on guard, the tremors in the cave stopped. The spell formation on the altar turned into a ball of red light. A mysterious object appeared in front of Ning Tian. This is... A flash of doubt appeared in his eyes. He moved closer to take a look. It was a jade-like object with a tinge of blood. This is a piece of beast bone? A flash of doubt appeared in Ning Tian's eyes. Why was there a piece of beast bone sealed in the spell formation on the altar? He activated his spirit energy and reached out to take the beast bone. Just as he was about to study it, the beast bone suddenly exploded with a terrifying suction force and sucked Ning Tian into it. F***CK. With a cry of surprise, he was long gone from the cave. Roar! Flame-Sealing Lion King was stunned to see Ning Tian disappear in the blink of an eye. He then quickly ran over to Ning Tian. However, in the next second it was also sucked into the mysterious bone. The entire cave returned to its original tranquility. Inside a blood-red space, 2 figures, one big and one small, appeared here without warning. Could this be the inside of the mysterious bone? Looking at the scarlet space around him, Ning Tian frowned slightly. A flash of seriousness appeared in his eyes. Was there another world inside the bone? Shabi, let's go inside. Ning Tian instructed and walked into the depths of the blood-red space. Flame-Sealing Lion King followed behind obediently. Soon, the man and the beast arrived at the center of the blood-red space. They stood rooted to the ground, stunned by the scene in front of them. In front of them, there was a ghastly white skeleton that was at least 100 meters tall standing in front of them. This is... A flash of light appeared in Ning Tian's eyes. After careful observation, he came to a shocking conclusion. The 100-meter-long skeleton in front of him was only a part of the demonic beast's skull. In other words, the owner of this skeleton only had a head when he was alive, but it was already a few 100 meters in size. One could imagine, if it had a complete body, how big would it be? It seems that the beasts in this world are not to be underestimated. Ning Tian had a solemn expression as he muttered softly. At this moment, Flame-Sealing Lion King roared at him. Roar, roar! It seemed to be excited. You're saying that you feel a familiar aura from this skull? After understanding the meaning of Flame-Sealing Lion King's roar, Ning Tian frowned and looked at the huge skull. Shabi, could this be the ancestor of your Flame-Sealing Lion King? Roar! Flame-sealing Lion King was stunned for a moment and nodded as it thought it was possible. Roar. At this moment, a lion's roar that seemed to come from ancient times was heard. A red light lit up in the eye sockets of the skull. Finally, the descendant of my clan. Chapter 291. Suddenly, a red light flashed in the eye sockets of the skull. A huge Lion King beast soul appeared before the eyes of Ning Tian and Seal Flame Lion King. The Lion King beast soul was very similar to the Sha Bai, but the fur on its body was thicker. Much of its golden fur had turned red, and the aura of a beast king spread. Even 100 Sha Bai would not be a match for that aura. Not to mention, the original body of the Lion King beast soul had several Sha Bai on its skull. Are you the ancestor of the Seal Flame Lion clan? Ning Tian looked at the Lion King beast soul indifferently, as if he could not feel the aura of a beast king. Why can't a mere human feel my aura? The Lion King beast soul asked in confusion. It looked at the Seal Flame Lion King, who was pressed to the ground, and then looked at the indifferent Ning Tian. It could not help but frown slightly. It used the aura of a beast king, not the bloodline aura. Logically speaking, this human should be affected. Aura? Ning Tian sneered and looked at the Lion King beast soul seriously. Your aura is stronger than a 9 tribulations great emperor? The Lion King beast soul was stunned and shook its head. I am the beast king of the Seal Flame Lion clan. The strongest I am is only a 3 tribulations great emperor. How can I compare with a 9 tribulations great emperor? Then that's it. Ning Tian spread his hands. What a joke. He was least afraid of aura, okay? He faced the wife of a 9 tribulations great emperor every day. Why would he be afraid of aura? Now, he had a concubine, the Queen Mother of the West, who was also a 9 tribulations great emperor. It was no exaggeration to say that even if he had to bear the aura, he could still attack like crazy. It was not an exaggeration to say that he could withstand the aura of an ancestral master. So, what is the purpose of your existence here? Ning Tian looked at the Lion King beast soul indifferently and asked, Purpose? The Lion King beast soul smiled faintly and said, Of course, it is to pass down the legacy of my clan. Hearing this, Ning Tian raised his eyebrows slightly. Didn't that mean that this was the Lion King's opportunity? The Lion King beast soul did not look at Ning Tian. Instead, it looked at the Seal Flame Lion King and asked, My people, tell me your name. Roar. Roar. The flame-sealing Lion King looked at its ancestor in awe and let out 2 soft roars. Shabi? Hearing the name of the Lion King beast soul was stunned. It then glanced at Ning Tian and asked, Did this human boy give you this name? Roar, roar, roar. Hearing this, the Sealing Flame Lion King nodded excitedly, as if saying, How is it, ancestor? Master Lion's name isn't bad, right? This name, but the Lion King beast soul frowned and looked at Ning Tian with a red light in its eyes. This made Ning Tian frown slightly. Did the ancestor of the Flame-Sealing Lion clan find out the meaning of this name and want to settle accounts with him? But what the Lion King beast soul said next made Ning Tian feel relieved. It is a good name with a good meaning. The lion of my clan should be full of killing intent to intimidate others. The Lion King beast soul nodded satisfactorily and sighed again. It is a pity that the name my master gave me back then was not as domineering. Descendant of my clan, a person who can give you such a name is not an ordinary person. Follow me well. Roar. Roar. Hearing this, the Lion King beast soul widened its eyes and nodded vigorously. Of course, it had to follow him well. After all, this was the master who could let it have a lioness. So, what is the legacy you are going to give me? Ning Tian looked at the Lion King beast soul and asked. This is the legacy to awaken the bloodline of my clan. This legacy is called the Lion King Legacy. The Lion King beast soul said calmly. Lion King Legacy? Hearing this, Ning Tian and the Lion King beast soul were both stunned. The Lion King beast soul explained. Although Sha Bai is a member of the Lion King clan, it has not awakened the bloodline in its body. This can be seen from the size of its body. It is not even as big as one of my toes, the Lion King beast soul said with a hint of disdain. At the side, the Lion King beast soul wanted to refute. After all, it was the strongest, largest, and most powerful beast in its previous mountain. But when it saw the skull that was hundreds of meters large, it fell silent. The Lion King legacy will awaken the bloodline in its body and make Sha Bai's body bigger? Ning Tian looked at the Lion King beast soul and asked. Not really. The Lion King beast soul shook its head and looked at the Lion King beast soul. The Lion King legacy can only awaken the bloodline in its body. As for the awakening, it will depend on itself. However, it is extremely difficult to awaken the bloodline completely. Even I have only awakened 30% of my bloodline. 30%? Hearing this, Ning Tian could not help but be shocked. Awakening 30% of the Lion King bloodline will make it thousands of meters long. If it is fully awakened, roar, roar, roar. Hearing this, the Lion King beast soul could not help but roar a few times. It seemed to be thinking of its beautiful future. Rumor has it that once the Lion King's bloodline is fully awakened, his entire body will turn crimson red. Even his bones will turn crimson as he is enveloped by his bloodline. His body will be so large that it is said that he can swallow an entire spirit realm in one gulp. The Lion King beast soul smiled. Its eyes were filled with yearning. Swallow an entire spirit realm? Hearing this, Ning Tian was slightly surprised. He could not help but look forward to it. Could the Lion King beast soul reach such a level in the future? At the side, the Lion King beast soul was already immersed in its imagination of being invincible. When it became a peerless beast king, it would definitely have a harem of 3,000 lionesses. No, it would be 30,000. Of course, this is just a legend. There is no real example. The Lion King beast soul shook its head and said. With that, it looked at the Lion King beast soul. All right, descendant of my race, accept the trial that I will give you. Trial? Ning Tian frowned slightly. You don't intend to give the Lion King's inheritance to it directly? Of course. If Sha Bai is not qualified, then wouldn't it be a waste to give the Lion King's inheritance to it? The Lion King beast soul nodded and said in a serious tone. No need. Ning Tian shook his head and his eyes flashed coldly. I don't have time to waste on your trial. As my beast, Sha Bai is naturally qualified. You, no. The Lion King beast soul was silent for a moment and still shook its head. Have you seen any inheritance that doesn't require a trial? Come on, opportunities can only be obtained after the trial, okay? Is that so? Ning Tian smiled faintly. At this moment, lightning calamity appeared in his hand. Chapter 292. What are you trying to do? When the Lion King beast spirit saw the lightning tribulation flowing in Ning Tian's hand, its expression changed slightly. Why did this human master the lightning tribulation that even made it tremble? Nothing. I just don't have time to waste on this so-called trial with you, Ning Tian said lightly. The Lion King beast spirit was not strong, and its soul was restrained by the lightning tribulation. Why should he waste time and let Sha Bai accept the so-called trial? Furthermore, his demonic beast had the right to do so. The moment his voice fell, Ning Tian used his god's force. With the raging thunder in his hand, he rushed toward the Lion King beast spirit. Damn! Why does this human have such a lightning tribulation? The Lion King beast spirit's expression changed drastically. This kid did not play by the rules. Under normal circumstances, shouldn't it be that after encountering an inheritance, passing the trial, and being endlessly grateful to it, he would peacefully accept the inheritance? Why was it that when it came to this brat, he would start a fight without a word? Damn it! Boom! At this moment, Ning Tian's body was surrounded by endless lightning tribulation. With a turbulent aura, it rushed toward the Lion King Beast Spirit. In the face of such a lightning tribulation, the Lion King Beast Spirit was afraid. Could not resist at all. Wait. When the violent lightning tribulation was only a few centimeters away from the Lion King Beast Spirit, it finally could not stand it and shouted, "I'll compromise. There's no need for the trial. I'll give it to you, roar." Unfortunately, before it could finish its words, the lightning tribulation in Ning Tian's hand fell on its body. In an instant, the Lion King Beast Spirit let out a painful cry. Its soul, which was hundreds of meters tall, was instantly surrounded by the lightning tribulation. Its soul was destroyed by the lightning tribulation. Then, its soul became smaller and smaller. After a few seconds, it was only a few dozen meters tall. Sorry, I didn't stop. Ning Tian coughed dryly as the raging thunder dissipated. The Lion King Beast Spirit, which was high and mighty a moment ago, was now charred black. After hearing Ning Tian's words, its soul trembled and almost dissipated. Damn it. Good kid. You didn't stop and I almost died. Cough, cough. Don't worry, I'm strong. This pain is nothing. The Lion King Beast's soul coughed and looked at the Fire Lion King, saying, "Yes, Shah must have a very strong master." Roar, roar. Shah Bai proudly roared twice. What did you say? This brat has 2 wives of 9 tribulations, great emperors? Hearing what Seal Flame Lion King said, the Lion King Beast's soul was petrified. At this moment, it finally understood why Ning Tian looked so calm when he saw it. The man in front of him was someone who could share a bed with 2 ninth-order great emperors. Why would he be afraid of a soul that had been dead for so many years? You shocked the Lion King Beast's soul. Reward. Path of the Void reaches a new level, from tens of meters to hundreds of meters. While the Lion King Beast Spirit was still in shock, the system's voice rang out. Hundreds of meters? Hearing this, Ning Tian smiled. So you're the husband of a 9 tribulations great emperor. Sorry for the disrespect. At this moment, the Lion King Beast soul's attitude towards Ning Tian was much more respectful. No need to say more. Pass the Lion King inheritance to him. Ning Tian shook his head and said, Having learned its lesson, the Lion King Beast's soul became more straightforward and nodded. Then, with a soft roar, the soul released a burst of pressure. A red glow from the huge skull instantly shrouded the Fire Lion King. At this moment, it looked like a red blood egg. Now we just need to wait for Shah Bai to comprehend the Lion King inheritance. After doing all this, the Lion King Beast soul said to Ning Tian. Ning Tian nodded. At this moment, the Lion King Beast soul hesitated for a moment and looked at Ning Tian, saying, Young friend, I still have one more thing. It's the path of beast taming left behind by my master. Take a look? Ning Tian's interest was piqued. The Lion King Beast soul shook its claws and a stone tablet emerged from the huge skull and landed in front of Ning Tian. The Lion King Beast soul hesitated for a moment and said, Because this thing belongs to my master, I can't guarantee that it will work for you. It's okay. You'll know when you try. Ning Tian shook his head and then walked forward. He touched the stone tablet lightly and the Lion King Beast soul looked at it. Boom! The moment he touched it, the stone tablet burst into a burst of golden light. Then, a steady stream of comprehension of the path of beast taming poured into Ning Tian's mind. Seeing this, the Lion King Beast soul could not help but widen its eyes. It sighed in its heart, as expected of a man who can control 2 9 tribulations great emperors. He's really strong. Even the path of beast taming stone tablet left behind by my master has acknowledged him. At this moment, a voice sounded in Ning Tian's mind. Detected comprehension of the path of beast taming. Beginning to comprehend. At this moment, Ning Tian was shrouded in the light of comprehension of the path of beast-taming stone tablet, and the flame-sealing Lion King was also shrouded in the Lion King legacy. Both man and beast were comprehending their own opportunities. At the beast-taming sect. How's the matter going? The sect leader of the beast-taming sect looked at the elders of the beast-taming sect and asked. Sect leader. A little old man stood up and bowed to him. He then said respectfully, the task given to us by the sect leader is almost completed. Soon, Dongxing country, which is ruled by the Tianma cult, will be conquered by us. Oh. Is that so? Hearing this, the sect leader of the beast-taming sect's eyes flashed and he laughed. That's right. Anyone who participates in this matter will be rewarded with a rank 6 demonic beast after the matter is completed. Rank 6 demonic beast. In an instant, everyone in the beast-taming sect in the hall was shocked and excited. A rank 6 demonic beast was already the top demonic beast in the entire sect. Report. At this moment, a hurried voice came from outside the hall. What's the good news again? The sect leader of the beast-taming sect smirked and looked over. He saw an elder running in hurriedly and said, Sect leader, bad news. The hundreds of disciples we sent to Dongxing country are all dead. What? Hearing this, the elders of the beast-taming sect were shocked. However, they firmly believed in the elder's words without a doubt. This was because he was an elder of the Hall of Life and Death, and was in charge of the life and death token. Once an elder died, the life and death token would shatter. Huh? What do you mean? The sect leader of the beast-taming sect's face darkened and a murderous look flashed in his eyes. From the last image transmitted from the life and death token, they seemed to have been killed by a disciple of the Tianma cult called Handsome Ning. The elder of the Hall of Life and Death said anxiously, Tianma cult? Handsome Ning? Hearing this, the crowd was stunned. Handsome Ning? Why does this name sound so familiar? The sect leader of the beast-taming sect frowned. Suddenly, he thought of something. Isn't Handsome Ning a legendary ancestral master? Chapter 293. A legendary patriarch? As soon as these words were spoken, the group of elders of the beast control sect in the hall trembled in fear. Many elders even fell to the ground in an instant. The legendary patriarch of the Tianma cult was a 9-tribulation great emperor, someone who could rival Emperor Just Heaven. How shameless! We're just sending some heavenly venerables to harass them. There's no need to mobilize a 9-tribulation great emperor. At this moment, the elders in the hall reacted. While they were afraid, they also cursed the shamelessness of the Tianma cult. Sect Master, what should we do now? Should we ask Emperor Just Heaven for help? Otherwise, what should we do if the Tianma cult goes berserk and attacks our headquarters? The group of elders looked anxiously at the sect leader of the beast control sect and asked anxiously. In the hall, the beast trainer sect master's expression was extremely ugly. After a moment of silence, he gritted his teeth and nodded heavily. Great Elder, leave immediately and ask Emperor Just Heaven for help. At this moment, even he didn't expect the Tianma cult to mobilize a 9-tribulation great emperor to suppress them, because this kind of probing harassment was extremely normal for the major forces in the entire spirit realm. Under normal circumstances, you flirt with me, and I retaliate with a wave of attack. Both parties would test each other and disgust each other, and that would be it. But now it was different. The other party was unreasonable and had directly mobilized a 9-tribulation great emperor. Yes. In the hall, the beast trainer sect's great elder nodded solemnly and was about to leave. But at this moment, outside the beast trainer sect's hall, a thunderous roar resounded in the sky above the beast trainer sect. Bastards of the beast trainer sect, come out and face your death. The thunderous voice shook the ears of many elders in the hall, causing their eardrums to go numb. This aura. It's a god emperor. The beast trainer sect master's eyes flashed with seriousness. He slowly stood up from the high seat in the hall and said to the elders in a deep voice, "Come, follow me out and face the enemy." Yes. The group of elders had solemn expressions on their faces. Soon, the crowd came out of the hall and saw several ferocious black dragons circling in the sky. These are Tianma cult's black dragon riders. One of the elders recognized the origin of this demonic beast with a single glance. On the black dragon mount, the white-haired supreme elder looked at the people of the beast trainer sect coldly. Behind him, hundreds of elders stepped into the air and turned into a terrifying aura, enveloping the entire beast trainer sect. Tianma cult, seeing the formation in the sky, the pupils of the beast control sect master and the group of elders shrank. Only now did they understand the Tianma cult's ambitions. Not only did they want to resolve the disturbance caused by the beast-controlling sect, but they also wanted to deal with the entire beast-controlling sect. Hee. With a sneer, the beast-controlling sect master raised his head and looked at the Tianma cult elders indifferently. What? Does the Tianma cult really think they can wipe out the beast-controlling sect with so few people? After he finished speaking, the tens of thousands of disciples of the beast control sect, who were already on guard, gathered together. Nothing more than a bunch of ants. The Supreme Elder looked disdainful. If these low-level disciples dared to interfere in a battle of this level, there was only one word for them: death. If a real battle broke out between the sects of the Tianling region, some weak disciples were nothing more than cannon fodder. The ones who could decide the life and death of a sect were the strongest. Is that so? The beast-controlling sect master responded with a sneer. Our beast-controlling sect disciples don't only rely on our own strength, but also our demonic beasts. Boom. As soon as he finished speaking, countless disciples of the beast-taming sect on the ground began to use the sound of taming beasts with their beast-taming weapons. Music was heard. However, the Grand Elder and the others looked on calmly as if they were prepared. Boom. Boom boom. Then, the ground trembled, and the furious roars of demonic beasts rang out incessantly. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of demonic beasts appeared in front of everyone. With these demonic beasts, the beast-controlling sect was emboldened. For them, having demonic beasts in their hands was equivalent to having a sharp weapon. Supreme Elder, we have demonic beasts in our hands now. What will you use to fight us? Destroy the beast-controlling sect? That's nothing more than a joke. Without the 9 tribulations, great emperor, you're nothing. The beast-controlling sect master sneered. Then, a group of beast-controlling sect disciples used the way of beast-controlling. All the demonic beasts under their control became restless, and waves of terrifying spiritual energy were emitted from their bodies. Is that so? The Supreme Elder only smiled. Then, he slowly took out a mask and put it on his face. The other elders behind him also did the same. Seeing this, the beast-controlling sect master and the others frowned slightly. But before they could think of anything, a transparent jade bottle appeared in the hands of Supreme Elder and the others. They pressed it hard, and the bottle broke instantly. This is a broken cup as a signal? The beast-controlling sect master's expression changed, and he immediately shouted, be careful of ambushes. This is most likely a secret order from the Tianma cult. Oh right. Order all disciples to take the antidote pill. Be careful of poison. At this moment, he thought of something again. Hearing this, the group of elders of the beast-controlling sect looked solemn and hurriedly did as they were told. Tens of thousands of people took out the antidote pill and put it into their mouths to guard against the poisonous gas. However, after a while, the situation that everyone expected did not happen. It was as if a jade bottle had broken out of thin air. However, there seemed to be a hint of a stench in the air. Are you playing with us? After sensing that everything was normal, the beast-controlling sect master's expression immediately darkened. He looked coldly at Supreme Elder, then waved his hand and ordered, "All disciples of the beast-controlling sect, listen up. Kill the enemy." Yes. The group of disciples nodded, and their bodies suddenly moved. When they were about to use the beast-controlling voice, their faces suddenly turned pale, and they fell to the ground, groaning in pain. Boom! 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 The demonic beasts of the beast-controlling sect also fell heavily to the ground, foaming at the mouth. After struggling for a while, they actually died. Seeing this, the beast-controlling sect master and the group of elders could not help but change their expressions drastically, and they were stunned on the spot. What was going on? Poison? The Tianma cult is indeed despicable. They actually secretly poisoned us. Seeing tens of thousands of disciples fall to the ground with pale faces and hundreds of demonic beasts die, the beast-controlling sect master's eyes immediately turned red, and he was extremely angry. No, no. The Supreme Elder shook his head and said seriously, "How can it be poison? Besides, didn't you all take the antidote pill? That was just a fart." A fart? Hearing Supreme Elder's words, the beast-controlling sect master was stunned for a moment, and instantly became angry from embarrassment. Bullshit. A fart can poison hundreds of my demonic beasts to death? It can make tens of thousands of my disciples lose their ability to fight? Chapter 294. This fart is not an ordinary fart. How can you understand it? The Supreme Elder said with a smile, his tone full of pride. He sighed in his heart. As expected of the ancestral master. Before leaving, he forced Shabi to eat hundreds of spiritual herbs and let it release the righteous fart. He stored it in a jade bottle and used it when necessary. Perhaps it would have an unexpected effect. Now that he looked at it, it was indeed effective. Dozens of jade bottles shattered, and the righteous aura spread in all directions. It killed hundreds of demonic beasts with one fart and caused tens of thousands of disciples to lose their combat power. I didn't expect Shabi's fart to have such a miraculous effect on demonic beasts. TSK TSK. The Supreme Elder could not help but shake his head and sigh. Hearing the Supreme Elder's words, the group of Imperial Beast sect elders froze in place, their faces full of disbelief. Fart? It's really fart? F***CK. No wonder I smelled a hint of stench. Fortunately, I'm strong enough, or I would have fallen on this fart. However, before the elder could finish his words, his vision turned black and his legs gave way. He fell to the ground. Elder Lu. Seeing this, the group of elders' faces changed drastically. They hurriedly circulated their spiritual energy to resist this mysterious poisonous fart. The moment the jade bottles shattered, they took antidote pills to prevent the poisonous gas. However, who the hell would have thought that the jade bottles were not poisonous gas, but fart? What was even more ridiculous was that one fart could kill hundreds of demonic beasts and cause tens of thousands of disciples to lose their combat power. Damn it! What a Tianma cult! What a fart! The Imperial Beast sect leader sneered, his eyes full of anger. He had lived for thousands of years, but this was the first time he heard that a fart could be lethal. Tianma cult, you've forced me to do this. The Imperial Beast sect leader's face was completely gloomy. His hands shook and the aura of an emperor god emanated from his body. Then, in the depths of the mountains of the Imperial Beast sect, 3 blood auras erupted. Roar! Angry roars followed. 3 blood-colored demonic beasts that were at least 100 meters in size appeared from the depths of the mountains. These are 7th-stage demonic beasts? No, they're much stronger than ordinary 7th-stage demonic beasts. Seeing the 300-meter demonic beasts not far away, the Supreme Elder's eyes turned serious. This is a demonic beast that my beast-controlling sect refined using a secret technique. The beast-controlling sect master sneered. He slowly rose into the air and shouted, "Elders of the beast-controlling sect, follow me into battle." Yes. Behind him, a group of elders also stepped into the air. The three giant blood-colored beasts had already emerged from the deep forest. "Prepare for battle," the Grand Elder said indifferently. The group of elders behind him were already prepared for battle. A great battle was about to break out. Valley of Beasts, Lion King Cave. Phew! Ning Tian exhaled a mouthful of turbid air and ended his state of comprehension. Beast taming attainment successful. Currently, the way of beast taming has reached perfection. Not bad. Feeling the improvement in his way of taming beasts, the corners of Ning Tian's mouth lifted slightly, revealing a satisfied smile. With this upgrade, he could finally control hundreds of demonic beasts at once. Not only could he control them with the sound of beasts, but he could also tame them. Is it over? Beside him, the Lion King Beast Spirit's voice sounded. Yes. Ning Tian nodded slightly. Although I know I shouldn't ask, I can't help but be curious. Young friend, how much have you comprehended? Not much. Ning Tian shook his head and said, I've only comprehended 1/3 of it. Only 1/3? Hearing this, the Lion King Beast Spirit was stunned for a moment and could not help but feel disappointed. As the husband of the Empress, Ning Tian should have comprehended at least 2/3 of it, right? However, 1/3 was too little. At this moment, Ning Tian's lazy voice sounded. The main thing is, I don't care about most of it. Only 1/3 of it can catch my eye. Hearing this, the Lion King Beast Spirit was stunned for a long time. In its impression, its master was at least a beast-taming emperor who was once famous in a region? Why did this human say that he was unbearable? Forget it. Don't be angry. His wife was a great emperor, and there were 2 of them. Phew, the Lion King Beast Spirit took a deep breath. For its last bit of bones to have a place to rest, it had to be calm. Is Sha Bai not done yet? Ning Tian changed the topic and looked at the huge blood egg beside him. This depends on it. The Lion King Beast Spirit was silent for a moment and shook its head. Hearing this, Ning Tian nodded. The man and the Lion King Beast Spirit's eyes fell on the blood egg that was enveloping the flame-sealing Lion King. After a long time, crack, the sound of an egg breaking was heard. The blood egg kept shattering, and a bloody aura kept emerging. The sealing flame Lion King broke out of the blood egg, and his body grew from 12 meters to 30 meters in a short time. Some of its golden fur had a hint of crimson in it. It improved so quickly. Seeing this, the Lion King Beast Spirit could not help but be shocked. I didn't expect it to have a hint of awakening power on its first awakening. Feeling that the flame-sealing Lion King had become much stronger, Ning Tian was very satisfied. Crunch, crunch. At this moment there was a strange sound. The man and the Lion King Beast Spirit were stunned and looked in the direction of the sound. They saw that the flame-sealing Lion King was grabbing the eggshell on the ground and eating it with its big mouth. Seeing this, 3 question marks slowly appeared on the heads of Ning Tian and the Lion King Beast Spirit. Sha Bai, what are you doing? Ning Tian frowned and looked at the flame-sealing Lion King. Roar, roar, roar. The flame-sealing Lion King roared twice as it ate. After hearing the meaning of its words, Ning Tian and the Lion King Beast Spirit were stunned. Sha Bai said that the eggshell was crunchy and there was a lot of its pure energy. It could not be wasted. Lion King, if Sha Bai fully awakens, can it also awaken here? Ning Tian said as he pointed to his head. The Lion King Beast Spirit was stunned and coughed. I'm afraid it will be difficult. In short, when Sha Bai's fur and bones turn red, it will usher in a true awakening and become a beast king feared by the world. Little friend, my soul body does not have much energy left. Goodbye. Okay. Ning Tian nodded slightly. After the Lion King Beast Spirit explained the awakening process, its soul body slowly dissipated. After the flame-sealing Lion King finished eating the eggshell, the entire bloody space fluctuated and quickly sent the man and beast out. Looking at the Lion King's blood bones on the ground, Ning Tian hesitated and picked it up. Chapter 295. This thing can be carried by Shabi, Ning Tian muttered as she looked at the Lion King's blood bone in her hand. She immediately used her innate skill, uncanny workmanship, to make the Lion King's blood bone into a pendant and hung it around the Lion King's neck. Shabi, there is a certain amount of Lion King blood essence in it. When needed, you can use it to increase your strength. Ning Tian looked at the ceiling flame Lion King and said, "Roar, roar." Hearing these words, the eyes of the ceiling flame Lion King lit up, and it hid the blood bone pendant in its fur like a treasure. It's about time to leave. But before we leave, we can take in the hundreds of beasts nearby, Ning Tian said. Then, she let the ceiling flame Lion King use, King of Beasts, and let out a roar. Roar. The sound was deafening. Very quickly, the roars of beasts came from the surrounding mountains, and the entire land seemed to be shaking. Many huge creatures appeared in the Valley of Beasts. Seeing this group of demonic beasts, Ning Tian no longer hesitated. She summoned the immortal Nguzheng, and used the beast-taming sound to control all the demonic beasts. Then, she took out the beast-taming gourd and stuffed the hundreds of demonic beasts into it. Let's go. After doing all this, Ning Tian turned around and left with the ceiling flame Lion King. Shanghai City. At this moment, the ruins in the city had been cleared. Lan Lengleng and the other disciples of the Tianma cult were helping to treat the injured. After a while, the entire Shanghai city, apart from being a little tattered and collapsed, had basically returned to its original state. Phew. It's finally over. If senior brother Ning Shui did not come, the consequences would be unimaginable. The disciples of the Tianma cult heaved a sigh of relief. And Lan Lengleng nodded. Senior sister Lan, senior brother has been in the Valley of Beasts for so long. Did something happen to him? We're done here, should we go over and help? A disciple of the Tianma cult asked with a worried expression. Yes, senior sister. The group of disciples behind him also chimed in. No need. Lan shook her head coldly and said indifferently, "It's not up to us to intervene in such matters." Among everyone present, she was the only one who knew the true identity of handsome Ning. He was the legendary patriarch of the Tianma cult. How could anything happen to him? Hearing this, the Tianma cult disciples could only nod. Just at this moment, a huge object descended from the sky. Everyone in Shanghai City was shocked and looked over cautiously. Could it be? Those from the beast-controlling sect had come back? Everyone looked over warily and realized that wasn't this the lion that had said that it wanted to eat a person alive and that it was sorry? Strange. Why did Patriarch's demonic beast suddenly become so big? Even his appearance has changed a little. Lan Lengling's eyes flashed with astonishment when she saw the Lion King's change. She covered her red lips slightly. Senior brother. Seeing Ning Tian jump down from the Lion King, the Tianma cult disciples' eyes flashed with joy. They all gathered around him. Senior brother, have the beast-controlling sect members from the Valley of Beasts been dealt with? A group of disciples couldn't help but ask. Yes. Ning Tian nodded slightly, then looked at Lan Lengling. Junior sister Lan, you guys are also injured. Take the disciples and bring the people of Shanghai City back to the Imperial City. Then you guys can return to the Tianma cult. Hearing this, Lan Ling nodded obediently. Their group of disciples had completed their mission. It was time for them to return to the sect to recuperate. What about you, senior brother? Lan Lengling asked again. Me? Ning Tian smiled faintly. Naturally, I will go where I should go. He looked in the direction of where the beast-controlling sect was located. Now that the Grand Elder and the others had started fighting with the beast-controlling sect, it was the perfect time to go over and completely destroy them. Beast-controlling sect. The battle continued, from the sky to the ground. Many buildings were destroyed, and cracks that were hundreds of meters long appeared on the ground. Boom! Bang bang! Spiritual energy exploded out continuously. The two God Emperor realm auras clashed heavily against each other. Then, they both retreated tens of meters. Grand Elder, you're old and useless. You should return to the Tianma cult and enjoy your old age. The beast-controlling sect master wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and looked at the Grand Elder with a cold smile. Sigh. How dare a young man bully an old man like me? The Supreme Elder stabilized his body and sighed. Then, with a helpless expression, he took out one spirit medicine after another from his storage ring and swallowed them in a leisurely manner. Boom! In an instant, the spiritual energy in his body was restored, and his aura was as fierce as a tiger. Hey! You are too much. Stupid old man. You King ate spiritual herbs again. Seeing this, the beast-controlling sect master's eyes flashed with anger. This damn old man. He had fought with him for hundreds of rounds. He had stuffed at least dozens of spiritual herbs into his mouth. Most importantly, every time he ate, he would be filled with spiritual energy, and his combat power would be off the chart. He had never seen a spiritual herb with such a miraculous effect and such a great effect. Although he also had pills, compared to the spiritual herbs in the Grand Elder's hands, they were completely useless. Sigh, I am old, so I can only eat spiritual herbs to nourish my body. The Supreme Elder sighed with a helpless look on his face. Creak. The beast-controlling sect master gritted his teeth in anger. The group of beast-controlling sect elders also gritted their teeth and glared at the Tianma cult elders in front of them. What was the point of fighting? As they fought, the elders took out a spiritual herb and stuffed it into their mouths, instantly recovering their health. They brought their own nanny? Hee. The Grand Elder laughed. With the spiritual herbs planted by the Patriarch, the Empress no longer had to worry about their spiritual energy being depleted. Let's end this quickly. Don't fight a war of attrition with these cheaters. At this time, the beast-controlling sect master roared. He already understood that if they wanted to win, they couldn't let these old guys have the chance to eat spiritual herbs. Yes. The group of beast-controlling sect elders shouted loudly. Each of them gritted their teeth and looked at the Tianma cult elders with fierce eyes. Roar! At this time, outside the beast-controlling sect's mountain gate, the angry roar of a demonic beast was heard. Then, the earth trembled, and hundreds of demonic beasts attacked from all directions outside the mountain gate. Demonic beasts? The Grand Elder frowned. The appearance of demonic beasts at this time was extremely unfavorable. Ah! The heavens are on my side! The beast-controlling sect master's eyes flashed. With demonic beasts now, the beast-controlling sect's combat power would increase by several times. Just as he was about to use the beast-controlling voice to subdue these hundreds of demonic beasts, he was shocked to see that they all stopped and looked in one direction as if they were welcoming their king. Chapter 296. Roar! The roar was like the cry of the king of beasts. Outside the mountain gate of the Imperial Beast sect, the hundreds of demonic beasts stopped one by one. Their eyes flickered with a fiery glow as they looked towards the source of the sound. Low roars were emitted from their mouths as well. Roar, roar, the beasts' angry roars continued to ring out as they all looked in one direction. At this moment, it was as if there was a king of beasts behind the beasts. In the sky, everyone was shocked by this scene. They stopped at the same time and looked in the direction of the beasts. Everyone was a little surprised. This voice, could it be the king of beasts that controls these hundreds of beasts? The beast trainer sect leader's eyes flashed with a hint of greed. If he could tame this beast, then wouldn't all of these hundreds of beasts be under his control? That would make an absolute difference to the current battle situation. At this moment, he was tempted. All of a sudden, he pulled several hundred meters away from the Grand Elder and shouted, "Imperial Beast Elders, spread out! prepare to use the sound of beasts to tame the beasts and control the battle. Yes. At the same time, the group of elders of the beast trainer sect also burst out and pulled away to a safe distance. Oh no! Stop them! The Supreme Elder's expression changed, and his old eyes were full of seriousness. He didn't expect a wave of beasts to suddenly appear. If the elders of the beast trainer sect succeeded in taming the beasts, then it would play a critical role in the battle, and all of their calculations would be in vain. Yes, the elders of the Tianma cult channeled their spirit energy and rushed forward. However, halfway through, the group of elders of the beast trainer sect had already taken out their beast-taming weapons and put them to their mouths. Boom! In an instant, the sound of beasts suddenly rang out. Ha ha! Supreme Elder, man proposes, God disposes. Even if you did everything you could to poison all the beasts of the beast trainer sect, you didn't expect such a group of powerful beasts to suddenly appear. Ha! The moment the sound of beasts rang out, the beast trainer sect leader's face was full of pride. He couldn't help but laugh out loud. It was as if everything was under his control. The outcome had been decided. The Grand Supreme Elder's expression changed drastically the moment he heard the sound of the beast. Boom! The sound of taming beasts turned into waves of sound waves, continuously attacking the group of demonic beasts. At this moment, the Imperial Beast Clan elders couldn't help but laugh hysterically. Clang! 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 Just as the elders of the Imperial Beast Clan were laughing maniacally and the Grand Supreme Elder's expression was extremely ugly, the joy of immortal exterminating erupted once again. Boom! Boom! In an instant, the sound waves that were constantly attacking them were instantly shattered by the music of immortal extermination. The aftershocks instantly rebounded onto the bodies of the Imperial Beast Elders. Their faces instantly turned pale, and they spat out mouthfuls of blood. Wow! PFFF. At this moment, a wisp of deep shock flashed through their eyes. What a powerful entertainment Dao attack! His attainments in the Dao of entertainment far surpassed that of their beast control sect master. Seeing the elders of the Imperial Beast Clan spit out blood, the Grand Supreme Elder and the others couldn't help but be stunned. What was going on? They were extremely proud of themselves just a moment ago. Why did it seem like they had suffered a heavy blow in the next moment? At this moment, a voice rang out. What are you still standing there for? Take advantage of his weakness and kill him. This was the Ancestral Master's voice. A glint flashed across the Grand Supreme Elder's eyes, and he instantly reacted. The elders of the Tianma cult instantly activated their spiritual energy and rushed towards the group of elders of the Imperial Beast Clan who were spitting out blood. The group of elders was still spitting out blood, shocked by the music of immortal extermination. Faced with the powerful attack of the Tianma cult elders, there was no way they could withstand it. In an instant, each of them was sent flying. Many elders were instantly killed, tragically killed by the palm. Only the sect master of the Imperial Beast Clan and dozens of powerful elders managed to escape. Despicable! How dare you ambush us? The sect master of the Imperial Beast Clan saw that so many elders had disappeared in the blink of an eye. His eyes were filled with anger. Could it be that you haven't heard that our patriarch once said that a shameless person is invincible in the world? The Grand Supreme Elder said with a smile. Hearing this, the sect master of the Imperial Beast Clan's mouth twitched violently, and his expression turned even uglier. Ever since the appearance of the Tianma cult's patriarch, these people of the Tianma cult had all learned the essence of the Tao of entertainment and become shameless. TSK, as expected of the Grand Supreme Elder. You've indeed learned some of the patriarch's essence. Our generation is inferior. Yes. If I can learn the patriarch's shamelessness, my strength will definitely improve. The group of Tianma cult elders shook their heads and sighed deeply. Seeing this scene, the remaining members of the Imperial Beast Clan felt as if 10,000 alpacas were galloping through their hearts. Heavens! The people of the Tianma cult had gone crazy. They had actually become proud of shame. Roar. At this moment, the hundreds of monsters roared again, as if to remind the group of humans in front of them that their king had arrived. The hundreds of monsters spread out, and a monster more than 30 meters tall walked over with a disdainful gait. Its fur shone with a golden light, and under the sunlight, it was a little red. It looked very domineering. Seeing this scene, the sect master of the Imperial Beast clan was stunned. What kind of monster was this? Why had he never seen it before? Although its aura was not strong, its aura was far stronger than his 7th stage monster. He wanted it. He wanted it. Shabby? When the Grand Supreme Elder and the others saw this monster walking over, they all had strange expressions on their faces. Sect Master, they're scolding you. They're scolding you for being stupid. Hearing this, the Imperial Beast Clan Elder hurriedly said to the Sect Master of the Imperial Beast Clan, "Get lost. You're the stupid one." The Sect Master of the Imperial Beast Clan's eyes were full of anger as he glared at the Grand Supreme Elder. This group of old things dared to scold him? However, the gazes of the Supreme Elder and the others did not even land on him. The flame-sealing Lion King appeared in front of everyone's eyes. Its chin was raised high, and it was extremely proud of itself. "I, Shabi, am indeed the main character. Everyone will submit to my lion claws." At this moment, an angry voice sounded. "Shabi Lion, why are you raising your head so high? You're blocking my view." Roar! In an instant, the flame-sealing Lion King, who was still full of arrogance, immediately became obedient. It hurriedly cried out carefully and lowered its head. It could not afford to offend its master. He knew the egg-crushing technique. When the flame-sealing Lion King lowered its head, everyone finally saw a young man sitting lazily on its back. He's the sect master of the Imperial Beast Clan's pupils suddenly shrank, and his heart trembled. It was also at this moment that the young man stretched out his hand towards his face. Chapter 297. He stretched out his hand and slowly wiped his face. That ugly face disappeared, and a handsome young man appeared in front of everyone. Everyone's eyes lit up, and they were stunned on the spot. So handsome. An elder of the Beast Trainer sect swallowed his saliva and said with some difficulty, yes, so handsome." The Beast Trainer sect leader nodded subconsciously in agreement, but he quickly reacted. "Handsome my ass. This is the legendary patriarch of the Tianma cult. He's here to kill us." "What? The legendary patriarch of the Tianma cult?" Hearing this, the dozens of Beast Trainer sect elders' expressions changed drastically, and they immediately reacted. Such a handsome appearance, they probably couldn't find a comparable person in the entire Tianling realm. As expected of the most handsome person in Tianling realm, Ning Tian's patriarch. Seeing Ning Tian, the Grand Elder and the others were extremely excited. With the patriarch here, how could these trash of the Beast Trainer sect escape? Ning Tian stood up from the back of the flaming Lion King, then stepped into the void. In the blink of an eye, he was hundreds of meters away from the Grand Elder and the others. Void traversal. Seeing this, the Beast Trainer sect leader's expression became even more unsightly. The legendary patriarch of the Tianma cult was indeed a real Nine Tribulations great emperor. "You're the Beast Trainer sect leader, right?" Ning Tian looked at the Beast Trainer sect leader and asked in a flat voice. It was this emotionless voice that made the Beast Trainer sect leader's heart tremble. As expected, the strong are all temperamental and unpredictable. He was secretly shocked. Then, he nodded. "Patriarch, I am the Beast Trainer sect leader. You're the Beast Trainer sect leader, right? You're Bu Yaolian." Ning Tian nodded and was about to speak, but he was quickly interrupted by the Beast Trainer sect leader. "You're the shameless one." The Beast Trainer sect leader was very angry now. He had just been scolded by the Tianma cult's Grand Elder in front of his face, and now he was being called shameless by the Tianma cult's legendary patriarch. This? They had gone too far. Even the Tianma cult scum had come to scold him. Did they really think he was easy to bully? Patriarch! A warrior prefers death to humiliation. The Imperial Beast Sect Master's face was full of anger. He gritted his teeth and stared at Ning Tian. Ancestral Master, you can kill me, but you can't say that I'm shameless. Hearing this, Ning Tian was speechless. He looked at the Imperial Beast Sect Master as if he was looking at a fool. Could this guy be delusional? Wait. Sect Master, he seems to be saying that our sect's Elder Bu Yao and Elder Bai Lian. At this moment, the elder beside him reacted and hurriedly said to the Beast Control Sect Master. Elder Bu Yao and Elder Bai Lian? How can there be an elder in our sect with such a lowly name? The beast-controlling sect leader muttered. Then, he looked at Ning Tian and smiled apologetically. So it was a misunderstanding. I wonder what the ancestral master wanted to say? Nothing. Ning Tian shook his head and said calmly, I just wanted to say that Bu Yao and Bai Lian are already dead, and you will be the next. What? The beast-controlling sect master's face changed, and his eyes were full of horror. Then, he wanted to escape. After all, fighting against a Nine Tribulations great emperor was certain death. However, escaping might give him a chance of survival. Escape? Seeing this, Ning Tian's lips curled into a smile. Celestial extermination music sounded at this moment. Roar! In an instant, the fire-sealing Lion King roared, and hundreds of demonic beasts swept over like a flood. They directly surrounded the beast-controlling sect master and the others. Supreme Elder, wear a mask. At this moment Ning Tian suddenly said. The Supreme Elder and the others instantly understood. Shabai. Close the door, Bulsh *T. Ning Tian's lips curled into a smile. Suddenly, a spiritual medicine appeared in his hand, and he threw it high into the sky. Roar! The flame-sealing Lion King roared furiously and leaped up high into the sky. Its enormous body blotted out the sun as it swallowed the spirit herb that was tossed into the sky. After that, a wisp of crimson red flashed through its eyes. Roar! 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 Roars continued to be heard. Be careful! The beast-controlling sect master and the others were tightly surrounded by hundreds of demonic beasts and could not escape for a while. When they saw the ferocious and domineering demonic beast leap up, they could not help but be vigilant. Such a demonic beast was originally unparalleled in the world. Now, the legendary patriarch of the Tianma cult was feeding its spiritual medicine. Could it be that he wanted to increase its energy to release a killer move? Circulate your spiritual energy and be careful. This demonic beast may be about to release a killer move, the beast-controlling sect master said in a deep voice. Yes. The group of elders of the beast-controlling sect looked solemn. They naturally knew that this demonic beast, which was probably a beast king and a Nine Tribulations great emperor, could unleash a terrifying move. In the sky, after the fire-sealing Lion King swallowed the spiritual medicine, its body turned red. Then, it swung its tail fiercely and aimed it sexy, but at the beast-controlling sect. What is it doing? The beast-controlling sect members were shocked. This demonic beast, is it going to seduce us? But, it's a male lion. At this moment, Ning Tian's loud voice sounded, Shabi, use the ultimate technique. Righteous Spirit? Ultimate technique of the Beast King? Righteous Spirit? Hearing this, the beast-controlling sect members' expressions changed drastically. Quick, circulate your spiritual energy and activate the defensive array. The beast-controlling sect master's anxious voice sounded. The group of elders behind him circulated their spiritual energy, and a huge array appeared under their feet. As long as there was any attack, they would be able to react immediately and block it. Everyone's gaze fell on the fire-sealing Lion King. Roar! The fire-sealing Lion King roared angrily, as if it had condensed all its aura in one place. Poof! Then, a small sound was heard. Then, the fire-sealing Lion King patted its butt. In its eyes, it was very happy to use this ultimate technique. It could eat spiritual medicine, and it only needed to move its butt to release some air. It didn't mind such a good thing. The human race is really a strange creature, the fire-sealing Lion King muttered in its heart. Then, with a look of satisfaction, it snorted a few times and returned to Ning Tian's side. The red color on its body had disappeared. Seeing this, the beast-controlling sect members were puzzled. What's going on? It's over with just a poof? Where's the ultimate technique of the Beast King? Where's the righteous spirit? They were a little confused, but at this moment they smelled an extremely ugly smell. At this moment, their minds went blank, as if they had understood something. Their expressions changed drastically, and their hearts were filled with panic. At this moment, they felt that the spiritual energy in their bodies seemed to have stagnated. F***CK. What the F***CK did he use to smoke them again? Chapter 298. Sensing the stagnation of the spiritual qi in their bodies, everyone from the beast-controlling sect finally understood where the attack from the Supreme Elder came from. It turned out that the fart was released by the lion that looked like the king of beasts. Damn it! He's obviously a Nine Tribulations great emperor, but he actually used such a method to humiliate us. The beast-controlling sect master's expression was extremely ugly. He never thought that the legendary patriarch of the Tianma cult would use such a method to deal with them. Don't you have any self-awareness as a Nine Tribulations great emperor? How could you use such a despicable and shameless method? The beast-controlling sect master gritted his teeth and glared at Ning Tian. His eyes were about to spit fire. No. Ning Tian shook his head with a smile. The beast-controlling sect master spat out a mouthful of blood. His body trembled as he gritted his teeth and looked at Ning Tian. The legendary patriarch of the Tianma cult is famous for his shamelessness, but I'm really surprised to meet you this time. Oh? Surprised? Ning Tian raised his eyebrows slightly. He's even more shameless than the rumors say. The beast-controlling sect master gritted his teeth and said, Is that so? That's good. Ning Tian nodded seriously. Hey, I'm not praising you. Seeing this, the beast-controlling sect master wanted to cry but had no tears. He only felt that there was a burst of anger in his chest that could not be released. No wonder the Supreme Elder and the others were so shameless. How could they not be shameless when they had such a shameless patriarch above them? Help, help! At this moment, a scream rang out. Several holy emperor stage elders were corroded by the righteous fart, and the spiritual qi in their bodies instantly stagnated. Without the circulation of spiritual qi, the consequences were very serious. Don't forget, they were now in the sky. Ah! Instantly, a series of screams rang out. After the spiritual qi in many holy emperor stage elders' bodies stagnated, they fell to the ground like birds with broken wings. Boom! Before they could get up from the ground, they were swallowed by a group of beasts on the ground. At this moment, the group of demonic beasts finally understood one thing. It turned out that meat pies could really fall from the sky. Furthermore, it was filled with human flesh. Boom! In the sky, more and more Saint Emperor Realm elders were stopped by the poisonous farts, and their spiritual energy fell from the sky. Very soon, the beast-controlling sect only had the God Emperor Realm sect master and several heavenly venerable realm elders left. Damn it! The Imperial Beast sect master was very aggrieved. He had experienced tens of thousands of battles in the past thousands of years, but he had never been so aggrieved. Supreme Elder, you and the other elders will go and eliminate the beast-controlling sect master. As for the 5 heavenly venerate elders, leave them to me. Ning Tian looked at the remaining members of the beast-controlling sect, and said indifferently, Yes. The Taishang elder was stunned for a moment. He had already guessed that the founder might have a masochistic tendency. Now that he saw it, it was indeed the case. What a pitiful empress, what a pitiful woman. Immediately, the Supreme Elder led several hundred Tianma cult elders toward the beast-controlling sect master. Seeing this scene, the beast control sect master almost cried out. F***ck, no martial ethics at all. They were bullying the few with numbers. If he almost cried out, then the heavenly venerable realm elders who were called out by Ning Tian were really crying. A 9 tribulations great emperor was attacking them? It was really a blessing exchanged for 8 lifetimes of good karma from the ancestors. Ning Tian attacked the 5 heavenly venerable realm elders to train his strength. After all, he was not a real 9 tribulations great emperor. Use sword Dao. Ning Tian murmured, and a red flame appeared in his hand. That was Scarlet Heaven's sword. Sword Dao, instant slash. Ning Tian turned into an afterimage. Scarlet Heaven's sword flashed in his hand, and the sword light flashed and killed 5 people instantly. The Scarlet Heaven's sword in his hand slowly dissipated, and he frowned slightly. These 5 heavenly venerable realm elders did not even bother to resist. They can't be slashed. Ning Tian shook his head. There was not a single opponent he could slash. At this moment, the beast-controlling sect master was fighting hundreds of people alone. His aura was monstrous, and his clothes were fluttering. He had a heroic spirit that was unafraid of death. The beast-controlling sect master attacked. The beast-controlling sect master began to use martial arts. The beast-controlling sect master was slashed. The beast-controlling sect master was gone. Boom. In the blink of an eye, the beast-controlling sect master, who originally had a monstrous aura, was besieged by hundreds of people from the Tianma cult and was instantly defeated. D***MN Tianma cult, I won't let you off. Under the siege of everyone, the beast-controlling sect master gritted his teeth and said this with hatred. F***ck. He still dares to speak, beat him up? The ancestral master said that to kill someone, we have to destroy his heart. First, we have to hit his balls. Everyone, follow me and hit his balls. It was also this sentence that completely infuriated the group of old men from the Tianma cult. Their attacks were fatal. Tsk. How tragic. On the side, Ning Tian leaped onto the flame-sealing Lion King and chewed on an apple as he watched the show. Dozens of minutes later, the beast-controlling sect master died tragically. Phew, how satisfying. So, it feels so good to hit someone in the balls. The Grand Elder breathed a sigh of relief, his old eyes sparkling. The group of old men behind him also nodded secretly. Everyone, take away the good stuff from the beast-controlling sect. We're ready to call it a day. At that moment, Ning Tian's voice rang out. Yes. Ancestral Master. At that moment, there was a trace of excitement and surprise in everyone's hearts. Originally, they were going to be entangled with the beast-controlling sect for a long time, but with the Ancestral Master's arrival, the battle had been completely reversed. As expected of the Eternal God, you've shocked hundreds of old men from the Tianma cult. Reward. Heaven and Earth Great Shift Skill Card +3. Heaven and Earth Great Shift Skill Card, Collective Shift Skill Card, can be used 3 times. Nullified after use. Ning Tian narrowed his eyes slightly. This thing might have a miraculous effect. He put away the Heaven and Earth Great Shift Skill Card. Half an hour later, after looting the beast-controlling sect's treasure vault, everyone left in the direction of the Tianma cult. In the main hall of the Tianma cult. You're saying that the beast-controlling sect was destroyed so quickly because of my husband? In the main hall, Luo Wuqing, who had changed into a red dress, looked at the Grand Elder and asked. At this moment, her red dress was close-fitting, adding a touch of charm. Yes. The Grand Elder nodded heavily and looked at Ning Tian with awe. If it weren't for the ancestral master, I'm afraid this trip to the beast-controlling sect wouldn't have been so easy. Everything is thanks to the ancestral master. Okay, I understand. Luo Wuqing nodded lightly and waved her hand gently. All of you leave. Yes? The Grand Elder and the others turned and left. As soon as the elders left, Ning Tian immediately went over and sat next to Luo Wuqing. He wrapped one hand around her slender waist and blew gently in her ear. He smiled mischievously. Honey, look at how well I did. Isn't it time for the exciting reward segment? Chapter 299. Reward? Hearing this, Luo Wuqing was stunned for a moment. Phew, at this time, the bad guy beside her blew a mouthful of hot air into her ear again. She couldn't help but feel a little overwhelmed, and a blush appeared on her pretty face. She calmed her rapid breathing, slowly got up, and moved away the big hand on her slender waist. Her voice was no longer as cold as usual. Instead, there was a trace of gentleness. Reward? Okay, come with me. With that, she turned around. She walked out of the hall. Honey, where are you going? Seeing this scene, Ning Tian couldn't help but be stunned for a moment and ask in confusion. Didn't she say there was a reward? Why did she leave? Idiot, could it be that it's in this hall? Luo Wuqing paused slightly, turned her body slightly, and looked back at Ning Tian with a flirtatious look. She rolled her eyes at Ning Tian. This look was a charm that would not be revealed at all on normal days. I understand. Ning Tian revealed a serious smile, and then he muttered, Actually, it's fine here. Luo Wuqing smiled but didn't say anything. She turned around, stepped into the void, and disappeared. Seeing this, Ning Tian didn't hesitate and activated the path of void to follow. In the room of the two, Luo Wuqing had just appeared from the void, and in less than a few seconds, Ning Tian followed. Husband, your attainments in the path of void have improved again. Luo Wuqing raised her eyebrows slightly, a little surprised. Of course, Ning Tian said proudly, don't you know who your husband is? Of course I'm going to get stronger and stronger. With that, he lay down on the bed. She looked exactly like I was ready. Hurry up and come. Honey, where's my reward? Reward? Luo Wuqing's red lips lifted slightly, revealing a beautiful smile. Her beautiful eyes fell on Ning Tian. Close your eyes first, and you'll know what the reward is. Oh. Hearing this, Ning Tian couldn't help but feel a little excited. Did his wife know how to be a little mysterious and exciting? Then, he closed his eyes, quietly waiting for the good news, waiting for the soft jade to fall into his arms. He waited for a long time. Suddenly, he felt a cold touch on his chest. He opened his eyes slightly, but discovered that it wasn't her hand, but an ice-cold ancient scroll. This is? Ning Tian was stunned for a moment. He looked at Luo Wuqing with puzzlement. Reward, Heaven Tier Martial Art, Extreme Cold Shattering Palm, Luo Wuqing explained softly. Hearing this, Ning Tian fell into a long silence. Forget it. Let's take a look at this Heaven Tier Martial Art first. Immediately, he picked up the ice-cold ancient scroll and looked over. Detected that the host has absorbed the Extreme Cold Shattering Palm comprehension method. Do you want to start comprehending and learning? Comprehend. Ning Tian murmured in his heart. After all, it was a reward from his wife. He couldn't not learn it. After all, it was also a heaven-tier martial art. Although this reward was not what a decent person like him wanted. A few minutes later, Extreme Cold Shattering Palm, successfully comprehended. Phew, Ning Tian slowly opened his eyes and exhaled a mouthful of turbid air. But at this time, a fragrant wind blew in his face, and then a soft jade entered his arms. Honey? Ning Tian was stunned for a moment. Looking at Luo Wuqing's beautiful face buried in his arms, He didn't know what to say for a moment. Then, Luo Wuqing's somewhat cold voice sounded. Just now, it can only be considered a small reward. She didn't finish her words. However, he understood. Ning Tian was slightly stunned. Then, he stretched out his hand and lifted that peerless, beautiful face from his arms. The two of them looked at each other, and their bodies seemed to have been electrocuted. All of them stirred up different emotions. Ning Tian gently hugged that slender waist, and Luo Wuqing also very cooperatively leaned her head on that broad shoulder. The two of them snuggled for a long time. Looking at Luo Wuqing beside him, who was quiet like a jade beauty, Ning Tian's heart was filled with emotions. Although it had been less than half a year, the two of them could be considered as an old couple. With such a daughter, what more could a husband ask for? Ning Tian sighed, and then whispered in Luo Wuqing's ear, "Honey, when do you think we can have a child?" Child. Hearing this, the Empress lost her composure. In her beautiful eyes there was a flash of panic. Child? She had never thought about having a child. Now that Ning Tian had said that, he couldn't stop imagining things. Soon, a blush appeared on her beautiful face. She had done so many bad things, but it was all in vain. "Oh, you're blushing. We're an old couple, there's no need to blush." Ning Tian teased and gently hugged her slender waist. Luo Wuqing rolled her eyes at Ning Tian and then sighed. "I think you can forget about having a child for the time being." Why?" Ning Tian was stunned for a moment, and then he scratched his head and asked. Looking at Ning Tian's silly look, Luo Wuqing couldn't help but laugh. Then, she pressed her face against Ning Tian's chest and explained softly, "First of all, there's a problem with my constitution. It's not that easy to have a child." Holy Sun Constitution? Hearing this, Ning Tian nodded thoughtfully. "Yes." Luo Wuqing nodded slightly, then looked up at Ning Tian and said, "Secondly, there's another problem, and that's because of you." "Me?" Hearing this, Ning Tian was stunned. What did she mean? Did she mean that he couldn't do it? How could he tolerate this? "It seems that I still have to teach you what it means to have a husband who's the most important person in the world." Ning Tian snorted coldly, turned over, and directly pressed on top of her. Looking at Ning Tian's face so close, Luo Wuqing's beautiful face flushed red. She wanted to push him away, but this guy was like a dead pig, not moving at all. "No, I'm not saying that you can't do it," Luo Wuqing blushed and explained softly. "What I mean is that in the Tianxian continent, there's a big difference in strength between husband and wife, and there will be some impact. So, husband, your strength has to be at least the same or close to mine, then it's possible. You can do that?" Hearing this, Ning Tian couldn't help but be a little surprised. He didn't expect that there would be such a broken rule when giving birth to a child. At this time, he finally understood why the mother of the kingdom of God was also at the God-Dharch realm. "So, husband, do you understand?" Luo Wuqing said, trying to break free. However, Ning Tian grabbed her wrist, and a weight completely pressed on her body. It made her feel a little hot. "Although what you said makes sense, I don't want to listen." Ning Tian laughed evilly and started to misbehave. You're shameless." Luo Wuqing's beautiful face flushed red. She gritted her teeth, and her eyes were filled with confusion. This is not called being shameless. This is called taking back the reward that belongs to me." Chapter 300. At the same time, Zhongzhou Righteous Alliance. The atmosphere in the main hall was extremely stifling. All the elders of the Righteous Alliance and the leaders of the forces under the Righteous Alliance lowered their heads, not daring to look at the main hall. In the main hall, Righteous Heaven Emperor sat on the highest seat. But at this moment, his expression was extremely ugly as he gritted his teeth. Wave after wave of great Emperor aura pressed down on everyone in the hall, making it hard for them to breathe. "Damn it! Damn Tianma cult, how shameless!" Righteous Heaven Emperor was extremely angry. He originally wanted to add a bit of wind and rain to the calm before the war, but he never expected that the Tianma cult would give him the news of the beast-controlling sect's destruction. This was simply too shameless. Taoist priest Tianyun, are you sure that the legendary patriarch of the Tianma cult was also involved in the destruction of the beast-controlling sect? Righteous Heaven Emperor frowned as he looked at a middle-aged man below the main hall. Alliance leader, I'm 100% sure that the legendary patriarch was also involved. Taoist priest Tianyun nodded heavily as he replied with a trembling voice. Seeing how confident he was, everyone was a little confused. Why? Righteous Heaven Emperor asked coldly. Because, for a moment, Taoist priest Tianyun didn't know what to say. After hesitating for a long time, he said, because I saw a few big words on the stone tablet in the beast-controlling sect's plaza. What big words? Everyone was taken aback and they all looked over. Righteous Heaven old thief, I'll destroy your sect first to teach you a lesson. Following Taoist priest Tianyun's words, the main hall fell into a long silence. Seeing Righteous Heaven Emperor's face darken, everyone didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Who could call Righteous Heaven Emperor an old thief? Perhaps it could only be the legendary patriarch of the Tianma cult. Righteous Heaven Emperor clenched his teeth and fell into a deep rage. What a Tianma cult! What a legendary patriarch! Good! This is really good! He was so angry that he laughed, his heart filled with anger. He, Righteous Heaven Emperor, had never been schemed against and mocked like this in his 9,000 years of life. Mocking words. Although it was very simple and crude. But every word struck the heart. Alliance Master, what should we do? Are you going to attack the Tianma cult to vent your anger? Taoist priest Tianyun couldn't help but ask. Attack? He. Emperor Zhengtian laughed angrily, then looked at Taoist Tianyun coldly and said, What can you use to attack? There are 2 9 tribulations emperors of the Tianma cult. Are we going to deliver our heads and experience before the Void God Realm emperors come out of seclusion? This, Taoist priest Tianyun's body trembled. He didn't even dare to breathe. He quickly shook his head. No, that's not what I meant. Emperor Zhengtian snorted coldly. Then, he looked at the crowd and said slowly, Now, order all the disciples to obediently hide within the sect and not go out. Be careful of being sneak attacked by that shameless legendary ancestor. Yes. Everyone in the hall had solemn expressions as they nodded heavily. But, at this moment, Taoist priest Tianyun couldn't help but say, Alliance Master, even if we stay in the sect, that legendary ancestor can easily destroy us. Hearing this, there was an uproar in the hall. That's right. No matter where they stayed, if the Tianma cult's ancestor made a move, it would be a piece of cake for him to destroy them. For a moment, everyone was terrified and uneasy. What are you panicking for? Emperor Zhengtian's cold voice sounded again. I have my own preparations. I will release my emperor's divine aura to sense the Tianma cult. If any great emperors make a move, I will naturally be able to sense it. I see. Hearing this, everyone in the hall heaved a sigh of relief. All right, you can all leave. Emperor Zhengtian sat on the high seat and waved his hand tiredly, indicating for everyone to leave. Yes. After everyone left, there was a deathly silence in the hall. After a long time, Emperor Zhengtian slowly looked up with a murderous look in his eyes. 7 days. In 7 days, the Tianma cult will be destroyed. Emperor, I'd like to see, how long can the Tianma cult's ancestor jump around? At the Tianma cult. In the room, Xingge stopped. The two of them hugged each other tightly. Honey, are you satisfied with my service? Ning Tian smiled mischievously as he gently hugged the lovely woman in his arms. Luo Wuqing rolled her eyes at Ning Tian, then pushed him away and got up to put on her clothes. Sigh, pull up your pants and leave, you scumbag. Seeing this, Ning Tian pretended to sigh sadly. Get lost. You're such a drama queen. A black line appeared on Luo Wuqing's forehead. Then, without any hesitation, he pulled up his red dress and covered his fair and tender breast. She said softly, "You can cultivate the extreme cold crushing palm here. The Righteous Alliance hasn't been peaceful recently, and I still have to deal with some sect matters." Hearing this, Ning Tian raised his eyebrows slightly. "Since the Righteous Alliance is restless, why don't you find a few people to make an example out of? Honey, with your strength as a Nine Tribulations great emperor, it should be easy for you to destroy them, right?" "It is very easy." Luo Wuqing nodded, but her tone soon changed. "But if I move, Emperor Jingtian will also notice. If I'm stopped, the Tianma cult will be lost." Hearing this, Ning Tian nodded. That was true. If Luo Wuqing was discovered and did not retreat immediately, and was stopped by Emperor Jingtian, then the Tianma cult, which had lost its main combat power, would have an opportunity to take advantage of. "But honey, I have a way to quietly get rid of the three forces." At this moment, Ning Tian smiled mysteriously. "What way?" Luo Wuqing frowned slightly, and a trace of doubt flashed in her beautiful eyes. "He." Ning Tian smiled and briefly explained the collective displacement card to Luo Wuqing. After hearing this, Luo Wuqing was stunned for a moment, but she was not too shocked and quickly nodded. "Okay, we'll do as you said. You go and gather the Grand Elders and the others. I'll go with you." She had long since grown accustomed to Ning Tian's endless stream of heaven-defying and mysterious methods, so she was no longer surprised. "Okay." A smile appeared on Ning Tian's face. He nodded. After putting on his clothes hastily, he set off. After this exercise, he had to do something serious. With this collective displacement card that could be used 3 times, plus Luo Wuqing's accompaniment, it was equivalent to destroying 3 forces of the Righteous Alliance at random. Very soon, in the Heavenly Demon Palace, Ning Tian and Luo Wuqing stood on the high seat. Below them, the Grand Elders and dozens of Heavenly Venerable Realm Elders looked on in confusion. "Ancestral Master, why did you gather us?" the Grand Elder asked, puzzled. It had only been a few hours since he came back from the Imperial Beast sect, and he had not finished reading the Imperial Girl portrait. Chapter 301. Of course, it's to do something serious. Ning Tian smiled mysteriously. Something serious? In the main hall, when the elders heard this, they couldn't help but be stunned on the spot. A deep doubt flashed in their eyes. Something serious? What could he do? Of course, it's to make an example out of them, Ning Tian said slowly. Then, Luo Wuqing opened his mouth and explained Ning Tian's plan. "It's like this." After hearing the Empress's explanation, the Supreme Elder and the others finally reacted. "Mass displacement. I didn't expect the founder to be so awesome. Isn't this equivalent to bringing a teleportation pillar? Moreover, it's so silent." After hearing this, the group of old men widened their eyes. They wanted to be shocked. But thinking about it, this was the founder, so they understood. The founder. He was a god forever. Anything impossible would become possible when it happened to him. Founder, out of the 17 sects in the Righteous Alliance, the beast-controlling sect has been destroyed and the sect leader of the One-Sword sect, Jianren, is dead. Even if we succeed, there are still 15 sections. If we can only choose 3 out of the 15 sects, which one should we choose? The Supreme Elder slowly asked after he had sorted out everything. "Let me think," Ning Tian murmured. Excluding the headquarters of the Righteous Alliance, there were 15 sects left. Many of them were close to the headquarters of the Righteous Alliance, so it was not appropriate to choose them. There weren't many choices left to be made. Soon, Ning Tian made up his mind and chose 3 sections. The first one, let's choose the Heike sect. Ning Tian's eyes flashed as he said calmly. The Heike sect was one of the sects that he first met in the Righteous Alliance. That day, Jian Mei from the One Sword sect and Tian Feng from the Heike sect secretly made things difficult for him. If he did not summon Luo Wuqing and the Queen Mother of the West, he would have been killed by these two guys. Although the two of them had been killed by Luo Wuqing's palm. However, hatred could be extended. Now that the God Emperor of the One Sword sect, Jian Ren, was dead, there was naturally no need to waste the opportunity on them. Therefore, the Heaven Linking sect became the first choice. Heike sect. Inside the main hall, the Grand Elder and the others nodded. Husband, let's begin, Luo Wuqing said softly. Yes? Ning Tian nodded slightly. He muttered in his heart. System, use the Heaven and Earth Grade Shift skill card. Soon, the system's voice sounded. Using Heaven and Earth Grade Shift skill card. Preparing to switch positions. Use successful. Boom. Then, as the system's voice faded away, rumbling noises could be heard throughout the hall. The hall shook. The elders used their spiritual energy to stabilize their bodies. Everyone, don't panic. We just need to wait, Ning Tian said calmly. Yes. With the ancestral master's words, the group of elders also relaxed. Other than the fact that the ancestral master had torn down the house, the rest of the ancestral master was fine. It was also at this time. Boom. There was a rumbling sound. Then, the ground in the main hall cracked open and a thick door burst out from the ground. Damn! The Grand Elder exclaimed. The position he was standing at was exactly the place where the thick door burst out. As soon as the door appeared, his entire body was instantly sent flying, leaving a human-shaped hole above the demonic hall. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared. The elders in the main hall were speechless. Ancestral Master, the Grand Elder was sent flying. It's nothing. It was an accident. Ning Tian coughed dryly and scratched his head. Then, are we still waiting? No, looking at him, I'm afraid it will take a long time for him to come down. Let's make a move first. Ning Tian scratched his head. He only brought a group of elders to deal with some trivial matters. With Luo Wuqing around, she could destroy a sect alone. Okay. The elders nodded. Looking at the huge human-shaped hole in their heads, they broke out in cold sweat. Fortunately, they were not the ones who were injured. Everyone, let's go, Ning Tian said and then pulled Luo Wuqing into the ancient universe gate. The group of elders also followed closely behind. After everyone had entered, Yi Zichen's eyes lit up. Bang! The ancient universe gate closed heavily. Boom! Boom! As everyone entered, the ancient universe gate stepped into the void and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Everything happened silently. In the fusion sect. In the main hall there was singing and dancing. A group of stunning beauties were dancing beautifully and seductively. High up in the main hall, the sect master of the fusion sect, Tian Kuang, and a group of elders of the fusion sect were drinking wine and enjoying the scene. Taking a closer look, he looked somewhat similar to Elder Tian Feng in Sanqing's mausoleum. At this moment, Tian Kuang looked at the elders with a dignified expression and said solemnly, "Everyone, for the next few days, we will stay in the sect and not go anywhere. Do you understand?" Yes. The group of elders nodded their heads when they saw how serious he was. "But Sect Master, you still have an appointment with Miss Lu from the Spring Night House tomorrow. If you don't go," an elder whispered, "just reject her." Tian Kuang shook his head and said righteously, "You can lose your girl and find another one if you don't, but you only have one life. Grand Elder." That makes sense. Many elders of the fusion sect nodded. But, Sect Master, is it really safe to stay in the sect? What if? However, some elders were still worried. It's fine. Tian Kuang waved his hand and said confidently, "The Alliance Master said that under his Emperor's divine might, as long as the two great emperors of the Tianma cult leave the Tianmo cult's territory, they will be detected by him. When the time comes, he will personally make a move. We will be fine." As he spoke, He took a sip of wine and looked at the stunning beauties below and laughed loudly. Come, 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 let's continue dancing and playing music. After the beautiful dancers finished their dance, Yizichin smiled. Tian Kuang looked at the elder who was still worried and couldn't help but say, Elder Lu, why are you so worried? Don't tell me that I'm going to be smashed to death, just because I'm sitting in the sect? Ha ha ha! Don't you think so? After laughing loudly, he looked at the elders. Ha 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 ha! The sect master is right. How could such a thing happen? Ha ha! The elders also couldn't help but laugh. The group of dancers also covered their mouths and chuckled. How could such a thing happen? Sigh, I hope so. Elder Lu sighed. For some reason, he felt a strong sense of uneasiness in his heart. Come, 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 beauty, drink with me. Tian Kuang raised his wine glass high and took a step forward. But at this moment, boom! In the sky, a huge shadow appeared out of thin air, then smashed through the ceiling and landed heavily on Tian Kuang. Seeing this scene, everyone in the hall was stunned for a long time. Could it really happen? Chapter 302. Boom! A huge hole appeared in the main hall of the He-Chi sect. Instantly, the entire hall shook violently. A huge black object smashed onto the ground from the sky. At that moment, in the main hall, all the dancers were shaken to the point that they could not stand properly. One by one, they sat down on the ground with pale faces. Many of the elders had to use their spirit energy to stabilize their bodies with great difficulty. Ah! Very quickly, the miserable shriek of the head of the Joint Chi sect, Tian Kuang, rang out. Everyone's shocked gazes turned to look at him. Tian Kuang was pinned down by a huge ancient door. The ancient door was pitch black and looked very mysterious. Tian Kuang's body was covered in blood as he was pinned down by the door. Sect Master! Damn it, there really is a heavenly disaster. Seeing this scene and thinking of Tian Kuang's crazy laughter, the group of elders swallowed their saliva. Retribution came so quickly. Although Tian Kuang was being suppressed by the ancient universe gate, no one dared to step forward to save him. Faced with the sudden appearance of this mysterious door, they didn't dare to act rashly. They could only let Tian Kuang howl in pain. Gulp. The first elder of the fusion sect swallowed his saliva as he stared at the ancient gate of heaven and earth in shock. His heart was filled with doubt. What the hell is this thing? At that moment, a sound came from the ancient universe door. Immediately, all the elders retreated in fear. They looked at the door cautiously. Boom! Boom! At that moment, the ancient universe door opened slowly and a young man's voice sounded. Wife, this should be the He-Chi sect, right? With this precise location, there should be no problem. A young man's voice? Someone is coming out of the mysterious door. The moment they heard the voice, the group of elders looked at the mysterious door cautiously like birds startled by the twang of a bow. Damn it, if I find out who used the door to smash me, I'll kill him. At that moment, before the person in the door could come out, Tian Kuang's cursing voice came from the bottom of the door. At that moment, he finally managed to free one of his hands. Now, he only needed to use his spiritual energy to pull his body out. However, a foot stepped out of the Qiankuan gate without any hesitation. He stepped directly on the hand that had just reached out. Ah, my hand! No matter how Tian Kuang roared, the owner of the foot turned a deaf ear to him and even stomped on him twice. Upon seeing this scene, the group of elders stared at one another, stunned. At this moment, the young man spoke. This place is the He-Chi sect? His voice was bright and clear, mesmerizing and magnetic. Everyone turned to look at the young man. When they saw his appearance, they were all stunned. How cool was this? How could there be such a handsome man in this world? The group of dancers fell in love with him. Their eyes seemed to be filled with peach blossoms. Their delicate bodies trembled slightly. Their bodies that were already paralyzed on the ground turned into a puddle of water at this moment, becoming even softer. Yes, this is the He-Chi sect. The elders of the He-Chi sect were stunned for a moment. The great elder slowly said. He looked at Ning Tian suspiciously and felt that he looked familiar. May I know who this little friend is? Have we met there before? May I know why this little friend came to my He-Chi sect? There is no other purpose. Ning Tian's mouth raised a bright smile. You don't have to worry about it. I am just a courier. Courier? What is a courier? Hearing the words of the young man in front of them, everyone was confused. They had never heard of a courier before. This little friend, let's not talk about the courier first. Your huge door is pressing down on my He-Chi sect leader. Why don't you let him get up first? The great elder said very politely. If it weren't for the fact that he couldn't see through Ning Tian, he would have already called a group of elders to cut down Ning Tian. I will let him get up later. Ning Tian said with a smile. Why don't we talk about the courier first? The great elder's face was slightly ugly. His sect leader was being pressed down. This was not good after all. However, hearing Ning Tian's words, he couldn't say much and could only nod his head. Then let's talk about the courier that little friend mentioned. Everyone's eyes fell on Ning Tian. They all wanted to see what the so-called courier was. Courier, Ning Tian's mouth raised a meaningful smile. His indifferent voice rang out. Heavenly Demon Courier, payment upon delivery, please sign for it. Heavenly Demon Courier? Hearing this, the great elder of the He-Chi sect frowned. His old eyes were full of doubts. The group of elders around him were also confused. Heavenly Demon Courier? What the hell is this? Come on, payment upon delivery. Ning Tian said with a smile. The great elder of the He-Chi sect was stunned for a long time. Although he was confused and couldn't figure out what the Heavenly Demon Courier was, it was better to send this person away as soon as possible. He nodded slightly and asked, How many spirit coins do you need? After that, he stared at Ning Tian, afraid that Ning Tian would ask for too much. No spirit coins? Ning Tian smiled. No spirit coins? Everyone in the hall was stunned again. You just need to pay with your lives. Then, Ning Tian's voice instantly turned cold. Everyone present was shocked. What? How dare you? The group of elders of the He-Chi sect were furious. Their eyes were like fire as they stared at Ning Tian. Is that so? Ning Tian smiled. At this time, the ancient universe gate behind him opened heavily. Boom. Then, a beautiful woman slowly walked out. Her figure was slim and her every move exuded infinite charm. Behind her were dozens of old men. The moment the beautiful woman came out, the entire hall instantly turned cold. A huge emperor's aura instantly shrouded the place. All the elders' bodies were fixed in place, and a look of horror began to appear on their faces. F***CK. 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 This. Isn't this the Tianma cult's empress? The moment they saw that beautiful face, all the elders in the hall trembled. The panic in their hearts reached the extreme. Heavenly Demon Courier. So, this was what it meant. F***CK. The group of people was filled with despair. At this time, they also reacted. No wonder the young man just now was so familiar. It turned out that he was the legendary patriarch of the Tianma cult. It's over. My He-Chi sect is finished. The great elder of the He-Chi sect's eyes were filled with sorrow and despair. Chapter 303. Oh no, it's over. Elder Lu, who was vaguely uneasy before, sighed at this moment. He felt despair in his heart. He did not have any hope at all. Facing 2-9 tribulation great emperors, they would definitely die. What the hell is going on? Didn't sect leaders say that righteous heaven great emperor would use his emperor's will? But why did they still come? At this moment, great elder's eyes were filled with disbelief. All of this happened too suddenly. Heavenly Demon Express, how is it? Are you satisfied? Ning Tian looked at the elders of the Joint Chi sect with a smile. Everyone was stunned on the spot. Satisfied? How could I be satisfied with a delivery that wants my life? Wife, do it. Ning Tian saw that the elders did not speak and immediately lost interest. He was still in a hurry to send 2 more Heavenly Demon Express. Luo Wuqing nodded lightly, and a touch of coldness appeared in her beautiful eyes. Then, under everyone's desperate gaze, she slowly raised her jade-like hand, and a great emperor's will quietly circulated. Destroy. She slowly spat out a word from her red lip. Her voice fell. The great emperor's will enveloped the surroundings. It was almost as if it was crushing dry weeds and smashing rotten wood, harvesting all the vitality in the surroundings. No! A group of elders' eyes were about to split open. In despair, they circulated their spiritual energy, wanting to resist. However, under the terrifying great emperor's will, these heavenly venerables elders were like mantises trying to stop a chariot, overestimating their abilities. Their bodies instantly split open. Blood dyed the main hall red. Ah! Spare us! Don't kill us! Seeing this scene, the group of dancers turned pale. Blood splattered on their pale faces, and their beautiful eyes were filled with despair. However, it was their turn in the next second. When the Emperor's will attacked, they instantly disappeared. In an instant, in the entire main hall, except for the Joint Chi sect leader Tian Kuang, who was suppressed under the ancient universe gate, no one survived. Heavenly Demon Sect Elders. At this time, Ning Tian said lightly, Ancestral Master, we are here. Dozens of elders waited for orders. Destroy the He Chi sect. Ning Tian's tone was indifferent. At this moment, without an elder, the fusion sect was like scattered sand that could be easily exterminated. Yes. Dozens of elders nodded their heads. With a sudden movement of their bodies, they all charged out. You are shameless. He actually attacks some disciples. Seeing this scene, Tian Kuang, who was suppressed under the ancient gate of the universe, was extremely anxious and his eyes were filled with anger. Ning Tian's voice gradually turned cold. He smiled indifferently. I can kill whoever I want. Besides, since your heaven-linking sect has attacked my Tianma cult's disciples, then I'll pay you back tenfold. Next, it's your turn. His voice fell. Luo Wuqing's emperor's aura attacked. This one-star god emperor powerhouse was instantly obliterated. A few minutes later, the entire He Chi sect was filled with the smell of blood. A medium-sized great emperor faction had been annihilated just because they received a Skyfiend Express delivery. It was too tragic. Has it all been settled? Ning Tian asked indifferently. It's all settled. The Tianma cult elders nodded and said, Ning Tian nodded slightly, his eyes flashing. The news here could not be leaked. Otherwise, they would be on guard, and the other 2 Skyfiend Express deliveries would be difficult to deliver. Let's go. Ning Tian said. Founder, aren't we going to plunder the He Chi sect? The Tianma cult elder beside him asked. No need. The He Chi sect can only be described in one word, poor. Let's go. Ning Tian shook his head and led everyone into the ancient gate of the universe. Once again, he used the collective displacement card. Using collective displacement card. Usage reduced by 1. Current usage, 1. Boom. Everyone stepped into the ancient gate of the universe. With a bang, the gate closed again. Collective displacement card. Activate. In an instant, the ancient gate of the universe disappeared again. The Skyfiend Express Deliveries team set off again. We'll use the most professional attitude to deliver the best express delivery so that you can rest in peace as soon as possible. Righteous Tao Alliance, Zongyun Sect. There was a loud bang in the sky, and a gate appeared in front of the panicking Zongyun Sect members. Everyone was horrified. Heaven and earth phenomenon. But why have I never heard of this ancient gate's heaven and earth phenomenon before? In Zongyun Sect, a white-haired old man with a sage-like demeanor widened his eyes with curiosity. No. I have to go up and take a look, the white-haired old man muttered. Then, his body moved, and he leaped into the air, charging into the sky. They saw the white-haired old man soaring into the sky. Many of the Zongyun Sect disciples widened their eyes. It's Elder Tianxing. Elder Tianxing is good at observing anomalies. This might be a great opportunity for our Zongyun Sect. Seeing this, some of the elders in Zongyun Sect were extremely excited. If it was an opportunity, it meant that their Zongyun Sect would be rich. With this opportunity, it will be easier to destroy the Tianma cult in a few days. The sect leader of Zongyun Sect laughed heartily, his eyes shining. Under everyone's gaze, Elder Tianxing finally approached the ancient gate of universe in the sky. He was extremely excited. Heaven and earth phenomenon, ancient gate of universe, this old man is coming. But at this moment. But then, something unexpected happened. A burst of spiritual energy erupted from the ancient gate of universe and instantly cut Elder Tianxing in half. Elder Tianxing. Everyone's expression changed drastically. Just as they were still confused about the situation, the ancient gate of universe opened, and a young man stepped out with a smile on his face and a hearty voice. Skyfiend Express, payment upon delivery. Everyone, please sign here? The young man's voice echoed in the sky above the Zongyun Sect. Everyone was stunned. Express? What's an express? The Zongyun Sect disciples were puzzled. But soon, when the Tianma cult's empress appeared, they finally understood what an Skyfiend Express was. F***CK. This was a life-threatening express. Half an hour later, looking at the corpses on the ground, Ning Tian revealed a smile and clapped his hands. Done. Let's call it a day. Next. Okay. In the Tianma cult, a group of elders nodded. Their expressions were very strange. It was not until they followed the ancestral master that they understood that it was so easy to destroy a sect. After a few hours, the Skyfiend Express was officially done. The 3 collective displacement cards were used up and they had successfully destroyed 3 sections. It's a pity. If this were to happen a few more times, the righteous heavenly emperor would be alone. Sigh, what a pity. Ning Tian sighed. 3 times was too little. At the side, the Tianma cult elders could only smile bitterly. 3 times was already heaven-defying enough. If there were no more times, how would it be? Let's go. Dear elders, let's go back, Ning Tian said. Luo Wuqing and the group of elders beside him nodded. Chapter 304. Inside the Tianma cult. The Grand Elder was sitting in the Heavenly Devil Hall with a dumbfounded expression. He looked around and then at the human-shaped hole in the ceiling above him. He fell into a long silence. Who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? After a while, when his mind finally returned to normal, outside the hall, several voices could be heard. Elders, it's been hard on you. Have a good rest in the sect these few days. Yes, Ancestral Master. Ancestral Master? The Grand Elder's eyes lit up. He quickly got up and walked over. He saw Ning Tian and the rest walking in from outside the hall. Ancestral Master, you're finally back. The Grand Elder said excitedly. Let's go and destroy the 3 sects. I can't wait. Destroy the 3 sects? The group of elders was stunned. Yes. The Grand Elder nodded. All the elders were speechless. Grand Elder, to be honest, the plan to destroy the 3 sects is over. Ancestral Master has brought us back. Huh? So fast? It's only been a few hours. The Grand Elder was stunned for a long time. Then, 3 question marks appeared above his head. He was shocked. This was not right. Shouldn't destroying the sects be very grand? It had only been a few hours and the 3 sects had been destroyed? How could this be? Yes. Ning Tian smiled faintly. Damn. It's such a pity. The Grand Elder thumped his chest and stamped his feet, secretly sighing. It was such a pity that he could not witness the ancestral master's divine power. However, in fact, Ning Tian was only responsible for delivering the heavenly devil express to the door. He did not make a single move. The Empress destroyed it with a single palm strike. You have shocked the Grand Elder. Talent vast fields has been enhanced. Now there are more enhancements waiting for the host. It was also at this moment. The system's voice sounded in his mind. More enhancements. Hearing the system's words, the corners of Ning Tian's mouth lifted slightly. He had an idea in his mind. Elders. Ning Tian looked at the elders in the demonic palace and spoke slowly. The gazes of all the elders turned towards Ning Tian. I'll give you guys a break for the next few days. Holidays? Hearing this, the eyes of the Supreme Elder and the others suddenly lit up. Beating up workers. Unexpectedly. There's a holiday. However, but soon Ning Tian's voice sounded again. But what? The smile on the Supreme Elder's face froze as he asked cautiously. We can rest, but everyone needs to find 100 sets of spiritual herb seeds, Ning Tian said with a smile. Spiritual herb seeds? The elders were stunned for a moment before they subconsciously asked, any level of spirit herb seed will do? Yes. Ning Tian nodded slightly. Any level of seed is fine, but it's best if it's of a higher level. All right. The group of elders nodded and then left. For the workers, this was one of their few holidays. After the elders left. In the huge demonic palace, only Ning Tian and Luo Wuqing were left. The Righteous Alliance should be much quieter during this period, right? Ning Tian looked at Luo Wuqing and asked with a smile. Yes? Luo Wuqing nodded. Her beautiful eyes fell on Ning Tian as the corners of her mouth lifted slightly. Her voice was cold. Thanks to my husband's move, the Tianma cult has some time to relax. Then shouldn't you reward me? Ning Tian laughed. The Empress was stunned for a moment. Her long, shapely eyebrows wrinkled as her red lips parted slightly. But, didn't you just? But my silly wife, have you heard of an eternal saying? Ning Tian said as he pulled Luo Wuqing into his arms. What eternal saying? Luo Wuqing was held in Ning Tian's arms. Instead of panicking, she asked in confusion. 4 words. I'll never get tired of them. Ning Tian laughed mischievously. How can this be considered an eternal saying? Black lines appeared on Luo Wuqing's forehead. At the very least, it will become an eternal saying in my Ning family after 1,000 years. Ning Tian laughed mischievously. Then, he carried his wife, turned around and ran. In the square, many new disciples couldn't help but exclaim when they saw this scene. Oh my God! Our founder is actually running while carrying the Empress! At this moment, Lin Hao passed by. When he saw this group of inexperienced disciples, he couldn't help but say calmly, quiet down, don't panic. Our founder is just carrying the Empress for training. Training? I see. Could this be the secret to our founder's strength? For a moment, the disciples guessed. A few days passed. The group of Tianma cult disciples saw that their founder was becoming more and more energetic, and the Empress was also glowing and becoming more and more beautiful. Middle ground. Righteous Alliance. In a magnificent hall, Righteous Heaven Emperor looked at the leaders of the various forces below and frowned. Why did it feel like someone was missing? At this moment, he noticed something. Why aren't Tian Kuang, Li Wuji, and Lu Rin here? The 3 people he mentioned were the leaders of the Heqi sect, Zongyun sect, and Golden Sand Village. Currently, everyone was present. However, the three of them were nowhere to be seen. Alliance leader, we don't know. Hearing these words, the remaining dozen people shook their heads. At the same time, they felt uneasy. Alliance leader, could something have happened to them? Accident? That's impossible. Righteous Heaven Emperor shook his head confidently and snorted. I've been using my Emperor's will for the past few days, but I couldn't detect any aura flow at all. Not even an ordinary disciple of the Tianma cult has left. How could something have happened to the three sects? Hearing this, everyone nodded and felt that it made sense. Come, Qi Mei and Wang Liang, the two of you go and take a look at the three sects. I'd like to see what kind of courage they have to actually dare to ignore me. Righteous Heaven Emperor waved his hand and said coldly. The coldness in his words made everyone in the hall tremble. Righteous Heaven Emperor was a little angry. Yes, Alliance leader. As the voice rang out, the two black figures disappeared from the main hall. Next, everyone waited anxiously. An hour later, in the hall, two auras appeared. Qi Mei and Wang Liang, how is it? Righteous Heaven Emperor asked coldly. The two of them fell into a long silence. Seeing this, everyone's heart skipped a beat and felt a little uneasy. Speak. What's going on? At this moment, Righteous Heaven Emperor's expression was extremely ugly. Qi Mei and Wang Liang hesitated for a moment and said slowly, when we went to the three sects, we only saw corpses everywhere and rivers of blood. We didn't see anyone alive. We also found a few words carved with spirit chi. Heavenly Demon Delivery, happy signing. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.